What is going on, everyone? Welcome to today's video. Happy Wednesday. Can't believe the week is going by freaking insanely quick. Welcome. I just said welcome, right? Excited to go ahead and have all of you. Welcome to all those that are just now tuning in. Go ahead and smash that like button for me. And most importantly, go ahead and comment down below if we are officially live. Right now, I'm loading up my tablet to go ahead and double check that we are. Pepe 2.0 is currently pumping. So if you are a Pepe 2.0 holder, go ahead and smash that like button. And most importantly, go ahead and smash that subscribe button if you haven't smashed the subscribe button yet. Completely free, as I always say. So really do appreciate all of you tuning in right now. So we're going to go ahead and wait while we have this up and running. I'm going to go ahead and start posting my usual, the comments, you know, to go ahead and support the channel by using my MEXC link down below. Let's go ahead and start getting all of that going. I hope all of you are having a wonderful day today. And to all those that are watching this pre-recorded, go ahead and feel free to skip to whatever section you believe is best for you. Give me 1 second. I'm about to post a link right now. Just before I forget, right? Hey, Happy, how's it going? Thank you for joining us today. Sarah, how's it going? Sarah, hi. So glad to hear an update. Awesome. Glad to have you here, Sarah. I do remember you were looking to go ahead and enter Pepe 2.0. I hope you did actually went ahead and entered. So definitely excited to go ahead and have all of you here. Thank you for smashing that like button for me. As I always say, it does help support the channel, and it's completely free, right? So that's one of the best ways to go ahead and support the channel with the content I do. Is literally completely free. Just smashing that like button goes a long way, believe it or not. So let's go ahead and get that up and running. Let's see. I think we're set. So I hope all of you are having a wonderful Wednesday today. I thought it was Tuesday, dude. The week went by really quick, right? Let me know down below how your week has gone so far. Are you guys having a great day, great night, good afternoon, depending obviously on the time that you're watching this, right? Or if you're watching this pre-recorded. But today is the first of the month, as I also always mention, depending on the day and time zone that you're watching this. But currently, the time zone that I'm in right now, it's currently the 1st of November. I have been mentioning how I expect a massive pump coming in this month, leading towards the end of December. I think we should go ahead and start, you know, positioning ourselves to exit our positions towards mid-November, towards early December. Obviously, this is just going based off what I've noticed from the last previous cycles, but we're going to go ahead and continue to analyze those and see when we should go ahead and start, you know, kind of slowly easing out of our positions before we go ahead and have those dumps that we usually have happening around December, right? But we're going to go ahead and talk about all that today, not just Pepe 2.0. We're going to go ahead and talk about any meme token you want to go ahead and chill, altcoin, whatever you want to talk about. Go ahead and engage with the comment section down below. As I mentioned, that does help support the channel as well. Plus, we have a really great stream and we get to go ahead and talk, and I get to learn a little bit more about you. So really excited to go ahead and have all of you here currently watching. Sarah, no one else is talking. Oh my God. Yeah, I mean, that's just how the way things are, you know. I'm a really big adapter where it comes to, you know, being able to find trends early, being able to jump into something that nobody believes in. And I've been successful multiple times in projects like that in the past. A few, for example, you know, AMC, GameStop, I was in those when nobody believed in them before Wall Street memes was even, or Wall Street bets was a thing. I was in the EV market when electric vehicles, you know, were a hot thing back in the day as well, with NIO, you know, all these other new EV stock companies that were coming out. Also rode the wave with the marijuana stocks back in the day. So I've been an early adopter to catching on to trends early and capitalizing off the hype. And one thing that I've noticed is that when trend and hype really comes in, there's so much money and volatility to make, but it only lasts for either a couple days, a couple months, even a couple weeks, right? So the whole goal when it comes to identifying these patterns, the goal is to go ahead and be either one of the first before the pattern becomes a pattern, like the trend becomes a trend, or you want to go ahead and be the person that's in the middle riding the wave, right? And for all those that have been, you know, supporting the channel, we've been talking about Pepe 2.0 2.0 for months. You can literally go all the way back to all my content and see me talk about this analysis that I always had about some sort of short squeeze going on, you know, the kind of momentum and volume that we're going to be having. Obviously, none of this is ever guaranteed, right? But this is what I could go ahead and tell you that I've made very successful plays in the past, has always been identifying certain trends and patterns, right? So I do want to go ahead and say congratulations to all of you that have, you know, joined that journey with me. Obviously, I'm not here to go ahead and convince you. I'm just here to go ahead and talk about a project that I truly believe in. I'm a back holder myself. I do trade it, but I also like to go ahead and keep it neutral, to go ahead and keep all of you, you know, aware of what's going on, right? Because it also keeps me aware to go ahead and know where my position is going. So I do want to go ahead and say congratulations to all of you. That's a round of applause for all of you right there joining, you know, Pepe 2.0 when no one really believes in a project and you're sticking true, especially Mr. Trust, man. Mr. Trust has been the biggest bull during this whole entire time, and I was the biggest bull, but then eventually I turned into the biggest bear, right? And then that's kind of the mentality you have to have when you become a trader, right? When you're a trader, you want to stay neutral and you want to be able to adapt quickly. It's not about being right all the time. It's all about acknowledging where you're wrong and then pivoting from there, right? I was the biggest bull on Pepe 2.0. I flipped when it hit 40 million market cap and talked about a 2 million, even a 1 million market cap being possible. You could go back to all my videos and everybody was calling me a fudder. A lot of you did get out just in time with me, broke even or took profits before the massive dump. And a lot of you are still here today, right? Joining me with Pepe 2.0 hype, and we rode the wave one more time from 3 million all the way up to 14 million market cap. So congratulations to all those that have been early believers. And like I said, it's not about being right all the time. It's all about acknowledging when you were wrong, right? It's all about pivoting your position. You know, you might be the biggest bull, but you also have to go ahead and be aware of, you know, how you could go ahead and keep your profits and not give it all the way back to the market. And that's what it takes in order to go ahead and pivot quickly, is being neutral, right? So you're going to go ahead and always hear both sides to what I'm telling you. And that's just because I'm trading these markets, right? I'm here to go ahead and make money. I'm here to not lose as much money and conserve what I'm making. And obviously, you know, the whole entire community diamond hands bullshit is not something I believe in. I have gotten wrecked so many times in the past, multiple times, and that's one of the reasons why I go in with this kind of mentality. So yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and talk about that today. Let's go ahead and get these comments going. Welcome, Sarah. Really appreciate you being here. Suave Wen Lambo, thank you for being here today, man. I hope you're having a wonderful day or afternoon, or good morning, right, or good night. Sarah, hi there. Yes, of course. I appreciate you, Sarah. Good to hear exit strategies. We have to, you know what I mean? That's it's all about being accountable and being here for one another, right? That's really why I make these videos. I only make these videos to really be there for one another, right? Because I really wish when I was following a lot of these influencers in the space of you know, cryptocurrencies, I really wish I had someone like myself, right? So that's kind of the reason why I give you this approach, because we need to talk about, you know, take profit, exit strategies, what we need to go ahead and look forward if it's not going our direction, right? And as I mentioned, it's not about being right. It's all about acknowledging where you were wrong, taking an L. You're going to lose some, you're going to win some. It's part of the game. It's part of doing business, right? But as long as you go ahead and keep a neutral headed and we're here for one another, you know, it goes long ways, right? And that's the reason why I tell you all of this, because it's based off my personal experience getting wrecked by multiple, you know, crypto influencers in the past. You know, being through that, you know, panicking, waking up every day with anxiety, panicking like where my trade is now, dude. I literally have my trades open right now, which all of you are gonna go ahead and check out. And I don't go to sleep stressing out. I don't go to sleep panicking. Why? Because I understand, one, the risks that I'm entering, and two, I understand what we're looking at, right? And if I see something that doesn't look good, I'm willing to go ahead and pivot and be okay with, you know, having to go ahead and change my mind. And that's really the reason why I tell you all of this, right? So it's all neutral. I really do appreciate all of you here. Sarah says, Mr. Trust says, great job, man. I appreciate you, man. Shout out to Mr. Trust, man. This guy's been the biggest bull, even sold his car to go ahead and buy into Pepe 2.0, man. You can't make none of that freaking shit up. So man, that takes a whole different level of courage and faith, you know? And faith is believing in something that doesn't exist at the moment. And that's what we have to go ahead and have when it comes to finding trends early on. And this is not just Pepe 2.0. the perfect thing about this, all of you joining me live today, is that I know I go into these crazy rants, but it's really to go ahead and help you learn how to identify these patterns, right? I want you to go ahead and get so good that you don't even have to tune into my live stream, right? My goal is to go ahead and provide you as much value as possible and be able to identify patterns, read these charts without me being present, right? Because that's what the whole entire goal is. Because if you're able to identify these patterns, and you know how we're building this community really, really tightly, now you can go ahead and reach out to me and be like, hey John, look, I'm seeing this from this perspective. Now I have different perspectives of what you see that I probably might have missed, right? And that's where my biggest goal is, to go ahead and learn all together. I learned every day from a lot of you. I'm not the best, I'm not perfect, but I'm here to go ahead and learn and improve every day, and become a better investor and better trader. And you know, one of the biggest things I want to go ahead and mention, don't listen to a lot of these influencers. Be very, very careful, especially the ones with blue hair. Just kidding. No, but for reals, you know, anything that I talk about is solely my opinion, and my whole entire goal is for you to come up with your own conclusion, and you decide what works best for you, right? I don't want you to go ahead and come in here being convinced about what I have to say. That's not the whole entire goal. My goal is to go ahead and expand and open your mind. I think we should go ahead and be congratulating more self-awareness and having your own thoughts, right? And I don't think that's celebrated enough in this space, or even to begin with in this global world that we live in. So that's really what my goal is here moving forward. Let's go ahead and read some comments, and then we're gonna go ahead and go straight into the charts. Enough with the freaking rants that I go through, right? Sarah says HODL bullshit. Nice to hear. Yeah, you have to, man. I've been wrecked so many times, Sarah. I've been wrecked so many times. Hey, Cryptic Sniper, glad to have you here today. Good day, guys. Hope you're having a wonderful day today, bro. Burry, great to see you, man. Now, Pepe 2, he's anti-fragile. Jonathan, how's it going, bro? Yo, welcome. Let's go ahead and get this party started. It looks like the party is now started. So let's go ahead and talk about this. I think this song's repeating over and over again. Can't make this shit up. It's kind of bothering me. All right, let's go. Let's go straight into it. As always, go ahead and support the channel by using my MEXC link down below. $20,000 in sign-up bonuses, no KYC, and literally takes less than 3 seconds to go ahead and create an account. This is one of my preferred platforms. I'm going to go ahead and show you my trades. I don't know how much I'm in profits or if I'm losing any money, so we're going to go ahead and see that today. But I also want to go ahead and mention I am currently in the talks with another exchange that we are going to be offering some really, really nice, juicy bonuses. So definitely go ahead and make sure to subscribe. I think these bonuses are probably like the best bonuses I've ever come across, and it's another exchange. I always tell you how you should have multiple exchanges, especially in this world of crypto. You have to have multiple options every freaking day. You can't just stick to one thing. Once you stick to one thing is when you start losing, and that's not what we want to go ahead and do here, right? Even if it's a platform I don't endorse, I do suggest you have multiple exchanges, right? Obviously the links they use does help support the channel, but as I mentioned, my goal here is to go ahead and prepare you for the bull run that we will be having if we're not in one yet, right? So this is currently my what my portfolio looks like as of right now. Wojak currently at 5x leverage. I know how I told all of you that I'm using very low leverage at the moment. I was using all the way up to 20x, and I lowered it just because I saw a lot of volatility in the market, a lot of manipulation. So I decided to go ahead and adopt to my strategy, right? So right now I'm using about Wojak 5x leverage. I did talk about this. Wojak and a few of these other tokens like Pepe, original Pepe, and Pepe 2.0 are having a similar breakout, and this is the reason why I'm trading all these tokens at the same time. I took some profits yesterday on a few projects, and I also took a few L's, man. I'm not gonna go ahead and lie. You can go ahead and see my position right here. I took about $481 in profits yesterday on Bonk using 5x leverage, and then I went ahead and I closed my position on Floki, which I lost about $100. You know, as I mentioned, it's all about learning how to cut your losses, stick to it. It is what it is. It's the cost of doing business. Look at the way as if you bought a wrong product and it didn't sell well, right? That's the way you have to go ahead and approach these markets. And obviously, as I have had really, really massive wins, like $1,000 gains with the 20x leverage, I've also had losses, right? That's just part of the game. And you're probably going to see a lot more losses than wins. But when you see my wins, you're seeing a lot of really huge wins and very small losses, like $100 loss, $40 loss, $32 loss. But then you're seeing $718 in profit, $418, $163, $108, $1,900 in profit. So as I mentioned, it's not about being right. It's all about, you know, learning when you're wrong and then pivoting from what you're doing, right? And so far right now, these plays are doing pretty good. Pepe 2.0 right now, $663 in profit. Original Pepe, $83 in profit. And Wojak up $50 in profit. At the time of this live stream, currently all the way up, unrealized profit and loss, $787. So not too bad for the day, right? So let's go ahead and go straight into the charts. As I always mention, go ahead and comment down below to go ahead and get the chat interacting. I don't want to just talk to myself all the time, so definitely go ahead, show me any other projects you want me to go ahead and talk about. But we're going to go ahead and start off with Pepe 2.0 before we start talking about other projects, because you know how I forget a lot of shit. You know, I'm talking about something and then I get distracted by the freaking shiny object and then I forget what we're talking about. So let's go ahead and get this up and running. Let's go ahead and read a couple more chats right now. Suave says B. Cryptic says, I have noticed that Pepe 2 has been holding up better than my Pepe. 100%, man. I've noticed that too. Pepe's not performing too well, so we're going to go ahead and do some TA on that. But I also think Pepe should be something you should have in your bag. Obviously, not financial advice, but if you could go ahead and trade a lot of these tokens that have the similar breakout and pattern, dude, this is easy freaking money. And this is going to be a lot of freaking easy money coming in that you can literally throw your money at any almost meme token with a similar breakout or with some sort of breakout pattern. And it's going to moon. But the whole entire goal is to go ahead and analyze that and pivot quickly when we don't see that, right? It's not going to last forever. So that is something I do want to go ahead and mention, that this run is not going to last forever. So our goal right now is to go ahead and make our quick nut on a lot of these projects in and out. And then hopefully if we do go ahead and see a retrace, then go ahead and take those profits and invest it into real utility projects such as Bitcoin, Ethereum, Bitcoin Cash, Cardano, whatever, gold and silver, I don't know, whatever you want to go ahead and buy. But I don't suggest, you know, diamond bag, diamond hands, holding none of these projects. These projects are just here to go ahead and make us some money, and with that money, we're able to go ahead and do whatever we want. Whether that's buying, you know, the wife a new ring, you know, your kids a nice vacation, or even your husband a new watch. Right? This is what the goal is when it comes to these meme tokens. It's to go ahead and make a quick little dollar, flip it into a couple $100s, couple grand, and then flip it into real, you know, assets such as gold and silver. That's what you prefer, right? But let's go ahead and talk about Pepe 2. It's looking really good. It looks like another breakout is about to go ahead and happen. So let me go ahead and chart this real quick before we could go ahead and start talking about this. But I do also want to go ahead and say, keep on commenting down below, please. It does help me get this stream engaged, right? All right, so let's go ahead and read some comments right now. Let's see. Is it true Floki named Token 5 dropped 2 zeros in 2 days? Suave. Yeah, that's 100% correct. Token 5 was created by the Floki developers, I believe, the community. I don't really know. It did some crazy enough freaking like market cap, man, like literally freaking crazy. Like, let me go ahead and show you. I wish I would have jumped in. I missed it, but you can't always win. You know what I mean? This thing's at 20 million market cap. One of you talked about, you know, this token and told me about it. I didn't jump in, but we talked about it right here. And I did mention how there is a breakout coming soon and how realistically $1 could be approaching, right? I don't even know what the fuck Token Fi is. I'm not gonna lie to you, but yeah, apparently this is the same team from Floki. And man, they're at 20 million market cap, so that is freaking insane. Congratulations to all of you that did actually go ahead and take advantage of this. As I mentioned, you can't catch all of them, right? For me personally, I wouldn't jump into this now. Maybe it does jump even higher, but for me, I feel like the rewards are very, very low in my opinion, and there's a higher risk. I would have ideally liked to go ahead and jump in at under, you know, 3 million or 10 million. The reason why with Pepe 2.0 is a little different is due to the fact that we know what Pepe 2.0 is capable of doing. With this token, for example, we don't know what it's capable of doing. But what I could go ahead and say, it does have a 500 million supply, which is actually really, really bullish and could realistically hit $1. No bullshit aside. You know, it's none of these like $1 trillion tokens like Shiba. They're like, hey, is Shiba gonna hit a penny? It's like, no, bro, it's not gonna fucking hit a penny, man. Like, wake the fuck up. Like, I'm sorry to tell you, but it's not gonna hit a penny. Maybe in 20 years it will. But this thing right here could hit $1. I wasn't sure if okay, this is what crypto says. Cryptic Sniper says I wasn't sure if it was down to my entry prices. Yeah, man, same. Sarah says so true. You are so real. Thank you, Sarah. I really appreciate you. Flip it. Cryptic says smash that like button, guys. Yeah, 100%. That really does help. Help support the channel, as I always say. Charlie, thoughts on MELB? It's called Mine Lab, a cloud mining coin. Interesting. We're going to go ahead and type in coin. We're going to go ahead and type this on CoinMarketCap, and then we're going to go ahead and head over to... I'm really trying to go ahead and answer all of your questions, so I apologize if this is taking longer than expected. Let's go ahead and have it right here. MineLab. We're going to go ahead and have MineLab right here. And Charlie, we'll go ahead and talk about MineLab right now, and we'll do some analysis into that, all right? But let's go ahead and talk about Pepe 2.0 for all of you that are holders looking to go ahead and re-enter a position. And let's go ahead and look at this. So we're going to go ahead and start off by analyzing the 15-minute chart. Usually what I like to go ahead and do, I like to keep it very, very simple. We're going to go ahead and delete all the areas that are no longer too important for us to go ahead and keep an eye out on. So we're going to go ahead and do this just to go ahead and have a little bit more of a cleaner chart, right? We want to have a little cleaner chart just so we can know where things are going. So let's go ahead and start doing some deleting around. And this is usually what you want to go ahead and start doing too, right? When you're charting, you want to go ahead and keep it as clean, simple, and nothing too crazy, right? We're not over here freaking analyzing the fucking stars with the moon and see where it's going to moon next, right? You can't make some of that shit up. People really go ahead and do that. But anyways, looking at the 15-minute chart, in my opinion, just from looking at it, looking at this breakout, I can already go ahead and tell you it looks like some sort of, guess what, my favorite pattern, cup and handle pattern. And for all those that are probably tuning in or always hear me talk about the cup and handle pattern, you're like, bro, why the fuck are you so fucking bullish in this? This is the reason why. This is one of the most bullish patterns in my opinion, and usually you see massive multiple breakouts, and we've been able to call this on multiple projects, right? Multiple tokens. Not always the case. Patterns are not 100% guaranteed. It's just another probability to our probability, if that made any sense. You know what I mean? If our chances were 90% with a cup and handle pattern, maybe it raises it up to 95%, right? Patterns are only another indicator to go ahead and help us analyze and have a higher probability of that breakout to happen. It's not always the case, but they do help, right? And this is what a cup and handle pattern usually works at. You see this sort of like kind of like a coffee mug, right? You see this kind of cup forming. You see the handle breaking down where, you know, it pumps all the way right here. We've seen this multiple times. I'll show you that right now. You're going to see what I'm talking about. You're going to go ahead and see it form some sort of like little U to it, and then you see it kind of find its support one last time. And before finding its support and testing it, it has a massive breakout, making new all-time highs. For example, this chart right here, you're seeing some sort of cup and handle pattern. You see it find support, and then you see a massive breakout to the upside. And that's actually what I'm currently looking at on Pepe 2.0 right now on the 15-minute chart. You can't make any of this shit up. Obviously, this is not 100% until it gets confirmed, but if you go ahead and just do it from here, obviously it's not going to be perfect. You can go ahead and see right now it's looking for support. Is support going to be right here? Is it going to be right here? We don't know, but ideally it looks like the zone is going to be the area of support before testing this next breakout. And once we see it break above this area right here at the 3415, for me personally, that's going to be a confirmation that we are more than likely going to go ahead and break this area of resistance, which is a 35773, I think it was, or 3532. Once we break this, off to the races. We're going to go ahead and hit our price target of 45, which we're not that far away from. Look, let's go ahead and measure it where we're from. That's about a 36% pump. That is not unrealistic. No moon talk, none of that bullshit. This is being realistic with what we're seeing right now. 36% pump is not abnormal, something that could literally happen and happens every day, where you see tokens pump literally 80-90% all the time, right? So is that the top? Well, no, I don't think that's going to be the top. I do think that once we do approach these two zones right here with this breakout, which is going to be the 4571 and the 5335, these two zones right here are the two zones we need to go ahead and focus on, right? So after this breakout that we have, and as you notice, I use freaking brushes. I have like probably the messiest freaking charts, right? Where you like to go ahead and keep it simple with support and resistance. And I forgot to mention that, as I mentioned, this looks like a possibly area of support, a possibly area of resistance. Well, not possibly. a area of resistance, and the reason why, because we've touched this area multiple times, or at least try to, right? And that usually indicates that it's an area that it's really hard to break through, but it looks like we're about to possibly even have this breakout live. So our next area to go ahead and keep our eyes out on, it's going to be the 4571. Once we reach this zone right here, we want to go ahead and possibly see it consolidate, right? Because with consolidation, it gives us a little bit more of an indicator of how the market's feeling. Plus, it allows more whales to go ahead and jump in, because if we do just straight moon, which is a possibility, we just moon straight up to 5335 and just continue to moon without finding the support, it's going to be really nice due to the fact that we're going to be making a boatload of freaking money and we're going to be cashing in. But it's also going to be a little scary, because we're going to go ahead and ask ourselves, how low can it actually go ahead and dump, right? So for me, ideally, I like to go ahead and see a pump with then some sort of support to be formed. So ideally, as I mentioned, go ahead and write these areas down. These are areas that are very important for us to go ahead and analyze before we talk about freaking 1 billion market cap. Let's go ahead and keep it simple, chat. I know I'm an optimistic person. Trust me, I'm a very optimistic person. But after being wrecked so many times in this market, I go through levels that we look at, such as these two zones, right? We need to just focus on these two zones. If we do go ahead and do really well on finding support here and even having a breakout, then we're getting closer to our goal of, you know, 1 billion market cap. I don't know if we can hit a billion market cap. I think we could, but I don't want to go ahead and sell you the dream that we're for sure going to go ahead and have, you know, 1 billion market cap. The reality of and the beauty is that crypto, anything's possible, right? Anything you desire usually does happen. And you know, the fact that Pepe 2.0 went from a 2 million market cap, currently sitting at 14.63 million, I do believe that as soon as we start approaching the 20 million market cap and above, this thing's going to go berserk. I've been mentioning that, and I believe that zone is going to be around this 455 and the 5335. It's going to break above 15 million, and I think this zone right here is going to attract a lot more people. More whales are going to come in, and they're going to FOMO into Pepe 2.0. And I believe that once we break this zone right here, we're off to the races. We're off to the freaking races. Forget the RSI. Yes, we're overbought, but when it comes to momentum like this, it doesn't matter. It literally goes out the freaking door. So even if we measure it from where we're at right now, and we measure it from its previous all-time high, can it go up higher? Yeah, 100%. But let's just go ahead and focus on what we could actually go ahead and do. No bullshit, no hype, right? If you go ahead and measure it from this area that we're in right now to its all-time high, that's an additional 6x. And if you're using leverage, that is freaking insane gains. Obviously, that's if we approach, you know, back to its previous all-time high, which our all-time high was about 95 million market cap in 7 days. The nice thing about this is that even if it doesn't hit its previous all-time high, which I'm sure it will if we even have some sort of meme coin season and we get more new holders, even if we hit about half, which is not unrealistic, that's an additional 3x. So regardless of the fact, I think there's a lot of money to be made. What I'm doing with my strategy is that I'm taking profits and re-entering. I would rather do that because now I have a lower risk to go ahead and lose, just in case I'm wrong, if it dumps even more or if it doesn't. And then two, I at least have money in my pocket, which now I can go ahead and reinvest into getting a bigger Pepe 2.0 bag, right? So we're not diamond holding. We're not doing any of that. We're swing trading this, and we're looking at certain zones. So go ahead and write these two areas down in a piece of paper, your notes, screenshot it. As I mentioned, these are the two areas you definitely do not want to go ahead and miss out on. Keep your eyes out on 4555 and then the zone 5335 are the two zones I want you to all focus on, or the one zone to go ahead and focus on, because even if we see this on the daily, we do see that this was some area of support before we had that massive pump to the upside. And this is on the chart for MEXC, right? If we go ahead and keep our eyes out on the chart for, you know, DEX tools, if we look at the daily, we're doing some crazy freaking numbers. Like, look at this. You can't make any of this shit up. If you actually go ahead and see where we had that massive area of support back here, back in July, before we had that massive pump to the upside where we saw Pepe 2.0 hit 95 million market cap, its support was at 1792. it didn't hit that support. We actually broke through that support or that resistance like nothing, right? Because support becomes resistance, and right here we broke through that resistance like nothing. It looks like right now the area of support we formed is around the 20s, 25, 21, and right now looking to go ahead and have that breakout to the 4-5. And as you could go ahead and zoom out, look at that. That is a beautiful chart, literally almost breaking every zone that we've been talking about. So it's looking really bullish, and I do believe that as soon as we approach this zone right here, not only will FOMO go ahead and kick in, new holders will go ahead and kick in, but I also believe that a lot of shorts will go ahead and start getting liquidated, causing Pepe 2.0 to go even higher. So I definitely do say, you know, 40 million market cap, it's something very doable. 20 million market cap is very doable. Now, you know, anything over 40 million market cap is definitely going to go ahead and take a huge amount of new holders to go ahead and jump in, a very strong community to go ahead and diamond bag. That's not going to be us, right? We're going to go ahead and be taking profits, making our nut, getting out when we go ahead and start seeing those red flags. But it is going to require a good amount of new buyers to go ahead and continue to hold, and as well attract new diamond bag holders. So I do believe 20 to 40 million market cap is very doable, not even exaggerating. Anything over 40 million market cap, I think it is definitely going to require a lot of buying power, whether that's marketing, whether that's you know, getting how to onboard on new users, and then we could go ahead and talk about, you know, approaching possibly the higher levels of 95 million market cap and above. But yeah, Pepe 2.0 is looking extremely bullish in my opinion. If you are looking to go ahead and enter a trade for Pepe 2.0, I would go ahead and stick to the smaller time frames. Look at the 15-minute chart. I mean, right now it's looking like it's about to go ahead and break out. So even right now would be possibly a good area to buy in. Obviously not financial advice, or even at the zone at the 3253 area if you could go ahead and get lucky. But honestly, you really can't time the market. So if you were looking to go ahead and jump in, let's say with $1,000, I would recommend, not financial advice, it would be ideal to just jump in with a small amount, put in like $300, test the waters. If it does go ahead and have that breakout, then just put another additional $300 in here, and then just put additional money as is breaking out, right? It's not the same as if you were all in right here in the same profits, but the beauty about this is that now you're not risking as much, right? Let's say that you buy in $300 right here, and then it gets rejected and it dumps. Now you have the prices to go ahead and buy in a lot cheaper, right? So that's the reason why I like to take the approach of only throwing in $100 to $300 every time I'm feeling a little bullish. I never throw all my money in. I slowly buy into my position. For example, as you see right here, I was earlier today, I was about like $1,200, you know, cash available on the side, and currently we now have about 650, right? Because I slowly add to my positions. I never go all in. Why? Especially if you're using leverage, you get wrecked. Two, you never know really what the top or bottom is. We could be analyzing some sort of pattern, might think that that is support, but you also have to go ahead and keep into consideration manipulation. Not because we've seen it fall below that area before, it doesn't mean it's going to respect those zones, right? So this is the reason why I slowly jump into my position. You see, I've slowly been dollar cost averaging up onto Pepe 2.0. I waited for Pepe to go ahead and dump earlier today. I added a little bit more to my position. Wojak was a little red today, earlier for me today, and I added a little bit more to my position. So I slowly add on to my position in order to go ahead and minimize me being wrong. So if I'm wrong, I could go ahead and cut my losses a lot less, as opposed to me buying at the top and then cutting my losses all the way right here at the bottom, losing more money, right? And that's the reason why I would only put in, let's say, $100 here. It falls down right here, put another $100. If it falls all the way right here, and I think that's the new area of support, put in another $100. And if I see it trending back up, giving me a sign that it is now on a reversal of an uptrend, then that's typically where I would go all in and throw in either $300, $500, $1,000, whatever the case is, or even just ride the wave up and add to my position. I would rather do that. I minimize my risk, and if you're wrong, you could just cut your losses a lot quicker and you don't lose too much money. So it's really whatever you feel comfortable with, but that is one of the strategies that I've been working on that I think I would suggest a lot of you to go ahead and try out. You know, you never want to go ahead and go all in into one project. Why? Because you don't know where it's going to go, and you always want to have cash ready on the side to go ahead and buy the dips or buy any other new opportunities of the tokens that are coming out, right? So Pepe 2.0 is looking extremely bullish in my opinion. That is on the 15-minute chart. Let's go ahead and keep our eyes out on the 4-hourly. 4-hourly is looking to go ahead and have some sort of breakout. So hopefully we could go ahead and have that breakout coming soon. But even with this, in my opinion, opinion, I did mention yesterday that this looked like a massive cup and handle pattern. So not only in the 15-minute chart, but we also have what it appears to me a cup and handle on the 4-hour, or not the 15-minute chart, on the 4-hour. It also appears that we are having a cup and handle pattern, looking to go ahead and have that breakout. So that even adds more to our bullishness, right? Can this go ahead and get rejected and have it fall all the way down? Yes. And that's the reason why we don't just rely on patterns. But the fact that we were able to identify the cup and handle pattern on the 15-minute chart and the 4-hour chart, to me, that's a pretty good bullish sign. Looking at the daily, as I mentioned earlier, it's looking really good. We have broken above that area of resistance. Our goal is to just go ahead and hold above this and look for that new area of support, which is possibly around the 30009. So it's looking really bullish. Everything's looking really good in our favor. We should go ahead and have another pump coming in the next couple hours. Let's go ahead and see what time it is. We should probably see a pump on Pepe 2.0 in the next 2 to 3 hours, if not a dump, right? So definitely prepare yourselves to go ahead and buy the dip, or prepare yourself for that blast off that we will be having in the next couple hours. So Pepe 2.0 is looking extremely bullish. Congratulations for all of you that did jump into that project, making some really nice gains on that. So now let's go ahead and start reading some comments and then start, analyzing other charts. Suave says, is it late for TokenFi? In my opinion, TokenFi is just a high risk for me and a low reward. So 20 million market cap, just because I don't know where it's heading towards, there's no zones to go ahead and look at. The thing is with Pepe 2.0, it's almost predictable because we've been able to approach its previous all-time highs, right? So that's why for us it's really easy to go ahead and chart and look at certain areas to go ahead and break above, because we've hit 95 million market cap, right? And once the chart retraced, we broke those areas of support and resistance. So it's easier to chart a project such as Pepe 2.0, a Floki, a Pepe, any of those old meme tokens are easier to go ahead and trade, as opposed to trading a completely new token that just came out of the market and you don't know what the fuck's going to go ahead and happen, right? Because it hasn't found those levels of support or resistance. So for me personally, I jumped into another token yesterday. It was a meme token and I stayed away from it. It was Colt. I threw in about about $100, and I threw in about another, or I threw in like $90, and I threw in another $200. So I ended up having a $200 position, and then yesterday I ended up selling right here at this. As soon as it dumped right here, I ended up selling, so I took about $100 loss. So out of my 200, I took a $100 loss, and luckily I did cut my losses, because look, I would have ended with $0. And this is the reason why I would rather be wrong, jump into something, and if it is not looking too good anymore, exit my position before it does the opposite of what we're looking at, right? Another position I was looking at was Dork Lord. Well, let's go ahead and see where it's at right now. It looks like it's at 108%, but I also did mention that we were looking to go ahead and have a breakout to the upside, and it looked like it just dumped, but on the 4-hourly, it does look like it will go ahead and be pumping. And what I'm trying to go ahead and tell you is that when new tokens are out, it's very difficult to know where the top or bottom is. For all we know, for Dork, this is the top. Maybe this is the bottom, I don't know. But with a project such as Pepe 2, it's so much easier to go ahead and chart. Even Pepe, if you go to the original Pepe, it's really easy to go ahead and chart these projects, because we already have enough data, right? When we're going back on Pepe 2.0, on Pepe or any meme token, right? Any freaking meme token, it's very risky to understand where it's going to hit when it launches right here, because it just moons. No one really knows the true value of it, right? Where it's really easy for a trader like you and I, for most of you that are traders, or swing traders or investors, whatever you consider yourself, this is more of a trading style. We can make most of our money when we see charts like this, and we're able to go ahead and break through supports and resistance, because now we have data to go ahead and identify and ask ourselves, is this a possibility that this could go ahead and pump? We were just talking about a cup and handle pattern. Pepe original has, in my opinion, another cup and handle pattern forming right now. So is there a coincidence that all these tokens are having the same breakout? No. This is the reason why I believe there's some sort of meme coin season. Who knows? We all know that a lot in this space of meme tokens, a lot of the developers are the same freaking developers, so I wouldn't be surprised. But with this, you don't have to go ahead and overcomplicate yourself, right? I ended up risking some money. Yes, you can make a boatload of money if you risk your money into a lot of these early on shit coins, but you really don't know the risk that you're taking. So for me, I would rather go ahead and currently in the market, instead of losing more money, I would rather go ahead and trade these shit coins, these meme tokens that have some sort of credibility, such as the Pepe 2.0, because the credibility is our support and resistance from the previous chart. So it's a lot easier for us to not only identify patterns, but it's also a lot easier for us to actually make a really realistic point of view of how much money we could really make, right? Because with the other projects, you don't know if the developer is going to rug pull. Yes, it's a high risk, high reward. Yesterday, I went back into it, threw in $200, dabbled into it, lost $100, and now I'm going to go ahead and stay back out of the market. I'm not going to go ahead and jump into it. Why go ahead and jump into that? That is straight gambling right here. This is not gambling. Yes, meme tokens are gambles, but what we're doing right here, this is not gamble. This is actual technical analysis that we are now able to identify with a lot of these meme tokens. Yes, the TA is not always going to be on T because it is a meme token, but you have a higher chance of making money with these meme tokens that have already been out, have dumped 90% and now are pumping because of the support and resistance data that we currently have. Pepe original could realistically hit 71% in the short term. Midterm, we're talking about from its previous all-time high, which is a 300%, which is a 3x. That's not life-changing money, right? But if you're able to go ahead and flip a couple dollars here, especially if you're using leverage, 300% is a lot with freaking leverage. But even if you're just throwing $1,000 into this and you make a 3x, right? It's not life-changing money, but now you have $3,000 in your pocket to go ahead and identify other patterns, such as what we're looking at right now. And as I mentioned, a lot of these meme tokens were having these patterns. I identified that on Pepe 2.0, and I also identified on Wojak. So they're all following three same freaking patterns, which is the cup and handle pattern. You can't make none of this shit up. So imagine if you spreaded your money into $1 grand, $1 grand, $1 grand, and they do a 3x. You know, they're all going to go ahead and possibly do 3x, 3x, 3x. So let's just say low on the lower end, you're talking about like what, like $9,000. Not life-changing money, but now you were able to turn $3,000 into, you know, 9 grand. With a little bit more of a safer play, which none of this is safe, but at least you know that you're not 100% gambling because you're identifying the support and resistance that a lot of these tokens are creating. Unlike the newly launched tokens, no one knows what the top or the bottom is. For this one, we at least know what the top is. So far, the top is this right here, which is the 45000. So for me personally, that's the reason why I'm trading a lot of these tokens, is due to the fact that they're just a lot easier to go ahead and identify and make money. You do make money if you take on the risk with the earlier projects, but if you're going to get into any shitcoin of these, I would suggest, not financial advice, get into them when they have a low market cap. Get in when they have 63,000, 23,000 market cap. Get in when they're under 1 million, right? Anything above 1 million, I feel like the gains are a little bit more diminishing and it's a higher risk with a lower reward. You jump into a project with only 10,000 market cap and you throw in $100 and it goes up to $200,000 to $300,000. Now you just made yourself probably 30 grand, only risking $100, right? Yeah, you do have the risk of getting rug pulled, but in my opinion, I think that's more of a safer bet, jumping in when it has literally no market cap. So when it does capture the 300 plus and above, you're making a freaking grip on $100. You're turning $100 into 10, 20 G's, you know, 30 G's, only risking $100. But you need to go ahead and jump into those projects, possibly being a rug pull or a honeypot, right? For example, like that one token that we just talked about, getting into, I told you how I got into this project called, what was it called? Colts. You know what I mean? It's at a 9,000 market cap. It rug pulled, but I had a buddy of mine that jumped in and around this area right here. He turned in about almost $120 into like three grand or 5 grand, something like that. You know what I mean? But you have to go ahead and take the risk early on right here, and you have to go ahead and learn when to sell, because if you threw in $100 right here and your bag's now worth $20,000 at the zone right here, and you diamond hold all the way down, dude, well, your bag is worthless now. You could have had 10 grand in your pocket, and you could have rinsed and repeated the same exact thing, right? So there's a reason why, for me personally, I'm not investing too much on these newly meme tokens. I would rather just trade the ones that already have some sort of data backing it in order to go ahead and identify these certain areas and patterns. So that is just solely my opinion, right? I love high risk, high reward, but I think this is an area right now that you want to focus on having a medium risk with a high reward. And I feel like what we're doing right now, trading Pepe, trading, original Pepe as well, Pepe 2.0, and Wojak. These are a medium risk in my opinion with a high reward, as opposed to the total shit coins like this Ethereum are a high risk, high reward. These are medium risk, high reward in my opinion. So that is just solely my opinion, but that's what I would say. Keep your eyes out on that kind of perspective, and I think you would get wrecked a lot less. And I'm talking based on my experience of what I just had with a lot of these meme tokens these last couple of days, getting rug pulled and all that. Jonathan says, why are you not using the BitBoy Psycho chart? Yeah, let's go ahead and read the BitBoy Psycho chart, man. That thing's hilarious. Cryptic Sniper says, great advice. Thanks, John. I appreciate you, man. Thank you. If you appreciate what I'm telling you, go ahead and smash that like button for me. Comment down below, and most importantly, go ahead and smash the subscribe button. Completely free. Doesn't cost you anything. So let's go. Look, even they deleted their account, man. You can't make any of this shit freaking up. You can't make any of this up. And that's why I don't believe any of these developers. A lot of people like, John, you're negative when it comes to this. Have some trust in people. No, I don't. I don't fucking trust anybody in the space of crypto, dude. And neither should you. Neither should you trust me, right? You need to go ahead and always have your high ground when it comes to any of this, especially the influencers that are getting paid on the back end, shilling a freaking token that they're getting paid. And you're the exit liquidity. You and I are exit liquidity. So this is the reason why when I'm looking at certain influencers in this space and I see them promoting the token that I'm in, I'm out. I'm selling, because I know that usually these influencers always dumps every time they talk about it, right? So most of you should have your eyes aware as well, and I would suggest all of you to go ahead and keep your eyes on the lookout and always always question everything. Always question everything. It's always good to go ahead and give the benefit of the doubt, but I also believe you should always question everything and everyone. And really ask why are they doing this, right? Why are they what are their intentions? Let's go ahead and see. It was funny, dude. I think I retweeted this chart right here. This is the BitBoy chart, dude. You can't make any of this shit up, and we're gonna go ahead and save this because we might just start using this chart moving forward, right? The psychology, the cheat sheet psychology chart, and this is actually a chart that's it's really simple, but really does work, and not just on technical analysis. It works with trends. It works with people's feelings if they're going through something. It goes through everything, and I'm sure a lot of you have gone through this yourselves. But right now I'm going to go ahead and pour myself some Dubby. You go ahead and use my code down below, Pepe 2 on checkout, because that's how bullish I am on Pepe 2. So go ahead and get 10% off on your order, or just go ahead and use my link down below, and it quickly takes you to my link. So I'm taking a scoop right now. Fruit punch. I'm not a big follower when it comes to fruit punch drinks, but this so far has changed my mind, and so has a drink, the Truey fruit punch. I'm not sure if any of you have ever had the seltzer, the Truey seltzer fruit punch. Freaking good, man. Freaking good. I love seltzers a lot. But let's go ahead and look at this cheat sheet chart of the market. Let's go ahead and read this right here. So this is freaking hilarious, man. You can't make any of this shit up, and I'm sure a lot of you have gone through this, because I've gone through this in life in general, when you're going through like a change in career, or you're going through a breakup, or you're going through investments, or whatever the case is, right? We all go through these actual real cycles of psychology, and this is the reason why I tell you trading is about like 90% psychology and probably less than like 10% of charts. So ideally, I would say more like 95% psychology and 5% charting. Is the reason why I even tell you don't take charting too serious, because it's all about convincing the other person that it might go up or it might go down, and that's where the psychology part comes in, and you have to go ahead and have a really strong mental game to be able to identify these markets and understand when they're trying to do a bluff on you and it's a fake out. But we're going to go ahead and start off right here, and we're going to go ahead and start off with the disbelief, and we have to go ahead and keep this reminder on us so we can remember when we start getting these feelings, when it might be time for us to go ahead and exit this market, right? So we go ahead and start out with the disbelief. This rally will fail just like others. And if you actually go ahead and go back right here, this is the same thing. but from a different perspective, right? And we're gonna go ahead and start off with this side right here first, so you could understand how this rally works right here. And it happens time and time and over and over and over again. You can't make none of this shit up. But it starts off right here, in my opinion. It starts with panic. Everyone starts, you know, selling, capitulation. You know, I'm getting 100% out of the markets, I can't afford to lose more. This is where you start panicking a lot. You start getting angry around this area right here. I'm sure a lot of you have gone through that the last couple months during this cycle. You know, asking who shorted the market, why did the government allow this to happen, all this bullshit. It doesn't matter. You know, it doesn't really matter, right? You're just getting wrecked. At this point right here, you start going through the phase of depression, right? When we start going to go ahead and start seeing, you know, less people talk about crypto. We even see influencers have freaking mental breakdowns because they're overly leveraging this market or don't know how to go ahead and hold on to these kind of feelings, which we're humans, right? We have feelings, but it does take a different level to go ahead and be able to have a lot of these feelings under control. And that's the goal when it comes to trading, right? It's to go ahead and have a lot of these feelings under control. I'm not telling you that I don't go through any of these phases. I've gone through multiple of these phases time and time again, literally my whole entire life through trading. And it just almost seems like I never fucking learned through it, man. But I feel like this time I finally learned from it, right? And I always say that too, but I really do think now from this kind of perspective of how I'm looking at things, I really have learned through this. And I remember being in these phases, the angry phase, you know, asking why the fuck they shorted it, you know, the depressions phase when you're really depressed, you don't want to know shit about Bitcoin or, you know, Pepe or any of these tokens because you got wrecked. And then once you start seeing a pump, this is where Bitcoin was ended up approaching the 33 and above $1,000 area. And this is the reason why this chart is very, very important to go ahead and identify where we're currently at the market, right? Where we had the depression, you know, we had depression around that time where people were already getting discouraged. Not a lot of people were watching videos about, you know, anything related to crypto, all of that sort. I'm sure a lot of you understand and can relate when you're seeing your favorite influencers or content creators, you know, creating content where, you know, their views drastically dropped from like 50 to 80%. And that's where the depression side of things begin to happen, right? Then we see a pump in the market, and that's, for example, we saw Bitcoin hit what, $30,000. People were in a disbelief. They're like, this is a sucker's rally. This is the same shit as every other freaking rally. And I believe this is where we're currently at right now. I believe we're in this zone right here. Now, after we end this zone, because it literally repeats the same shit over and over again, is the reason why I say we have cycles in this market, such as when we have cycles for Bitcoin, we have cycles for altcoins, shitcoins, and we also have cycles for NFTs and metaverse tokens. You know, there's cycles for everything. And then once we're currently in this area right here, I believe. Let me know down below, what do you think, what area we're in, where you now start having this disbelief rally where people don't believe it, and then we're soon going to go ahead and get to the optimism rally. And we want to go ahead and start selling around this area right here, which is the middle, before the euphoria phase. And this is where, like, you feel like you're the freaking shit, man. You probably racked up like 100K plus in profits, probably made $1 million in the cycle, and you're like, dude, I know everything, I don't want to learn from anybody, I'm the freaking best, and all of this. And this is where you go ahead and start getting wrecked when you don't know how to cut your losses. If you don't cut your losses right here, this is where you begin to get wrecked. And let me go ahead and actually pull out the real psychology chart of the market, because I know that chart's freaking hilarious. But I want you to actually go ahead and identify these areas. And I know I spelled everything wrong, but luckily we have spell check and I don't have to worry about freaking spelling. So let's go ahead and do this real quick. Oh, my freaking neck, dude. Okay, so let's see how close we can go ahead and see this chart. So if you see this right here, I'm sure all of you went through this right here, right? Where we have disbelief. We have the hope. A recovery is possible. I think this is the area that we're in right now. We're in between the disbelief with the hope. Once we start seeing a little bit more pump, meaning we possibly see Bitcoin approach, you know what, $38,000, $40,000. This is where people are going to be like, fuck, dude, this rally is real. You know, we have some optimism going in. Now let's talk about Bitcoin hitting, you know, $45,000. And this is the same chart that goes on with Pepe 2.0. You know how I told you we're going to go ahead and hit the $20 million market cap and above, and then people are going to go through these phases. Optimism, belief, thrill, euphoria is going to be around 40 million market cap. And that's where I'm telling you, I don't know, we could go above 40 million. We could. Maybe it's the believe or the thrill side of things, but I think 40 million market cap could be entering around euphoria. So unless we get new buyers for Pepe 2.0, we could go ahead and still be in the believe and optimism. But for Pepe 2.0, I think we're even in optimism right now and in overall with the whole entire market, right? I mean, sorry, hope and disbelief. And then right now people are questioning in between this area right here, is this actually real? Once we start seeing Bitcoin hit, you know, $38,000, $40,000, we're going to see the believe rally going in. And then we start seeing the thrill. I will buy more margin, got to tell everybody. This is where you're telling your friends, your family, your sister, your cousin, your uncle, your dog, your cat's buying into crypto, whatever the case is. And this is where everybody starts making money, right? Your friend that you grew up with that doesn't know shit about cryptocurrencies is now making a couple grand a day as well. And this is where you start getting the euphoria, where you think you're a freaking genius. You're going to go ahead and make all these millions. And then this is where the market starts to go ahead and cool off. We just need a cool off for the next rally, and you're already hoping for the next pump, right? And this happened to me with Pepe 2.0 in the past. You know, I've actually went through all those phases right here myself, where this euphoria phase kicked in, and this is the reason why I'm telling all of you, we have to go ahead and look at certain zones, because even Pepe original is going to be following these same exact zones. Where on Pepe 2.0, we're going to start entering the zone right here. These two zones right here is when we start rallying up, and this when we start approaching the euphoria phase, right? And even if you go ahead and check this chart, this is where a lot of people get wrecked, because I got wrecked right here too on Pepe 2, where we believe that we're waiting for a next leg up, which if you actually go ahead and see the chart of psychology, which I recommend all of you, you know, screenshot this, save it, put it in the background of you, or, you know, have this on mine. I'm definitely going to go ahead and save this, where we ask ourselves, we need to cool off for the next rally. And this is where a lot of people get wrecked holding the bag forever. You start getting the anxiety, denial. You start getting the denial. You know, you're in denial. Nope, this is the best freaking project. Diamond bag, diamond hands forever. You know, influencer XYZ told me to diamond hands this forever. Start jumping into the panic. This is where people start selling, dude. They start freaking tripping, and then you start going into the same cycles: anger, depression, disbelief, hope, optimism, belief, thrill, euphoria. Same freaking feelings we all go through, right? So I would definitely suggest all of you go ahead and save this handy chart. This has been used, you know, for ages. It's nothing brand new. But I do believe that if you're aware of these kind of feelings, you start having these kind of feelings into a trade, you might be able to identify where you're at in the market, and just know that if they have a freaking chart that says literally Wall Street cheat sheet, psychology of a market cycle, this is to go ahead and tell us that, you know, they use fucking psychology against us when we're trading. It's not about how good you are. It's all about your emotions. So learning how to control your emotions are very important, because then you're able to go ahead and identify these patterns, and you know where the cycle of the markets might potentially be, right? So save this chart right here. Just type in psychology of a market cycle. Save it, as I mentioned. And you can't make none of this shit up. I'm sure a lot of you have gone through these feelings. I've gone through every one of these fucking feelings, I'll tell you that. I've experienced every one of these feelings. And you probably experience a lot of these every day in this market of crypto, right? Temporary, long-term, mid-term, short-term. So, yeah, that one's freaking hilarious, man. The BitBoy one's freaking hilarious. Unfortunately, it wasn't too useful. But, yeah, man, look at the faces that he does. Dude, this is funny. How to become a crypto millionaire, euphoria. This is fucking funny, man. This tweet right here is funny. Sometimes in life you make the mistakes you can't undo. Sad to tell you that, you know, this is where he has a divorce with his wife, around this area right here, around the anger and depression. And it's not something to make fun of this guy, you know. I know BitBoy has done his shit, but it's not something I'm making fun of the guy. I think it's just that guy's comedy, man, to be honest. I'm sure a lot of you could go ahead and agree with that. But go ahead and give me a follow at ALTCOIN John on Twitter. Feel free to reach out to me. Yeah, go ahead and support the channel that way as well. But let's go ahead and talk about some charts. Enough with the freaking psychology of the market, but that's really important when it comes to a lot of this, and it's really it happens time and over again, right? And people try to go ahead and think it's really like freaking science, like becoming a rocket scientist to identify the patterns of these markets, and they're really not. The less you start thinking about what these markets could go ahead and do and start identify the very simple things, you're able to go ahead and chart certain areas and be able to go to sleep comfortably, because now you identify that there is a thing called market cycles, right? And we want to go ahead and start selling, and this goes to every freaking project, every altcoin, every whatever thing we're getting into. Our goal is to go ahead and sell around the zone right here. When do we know when is the euphoria zone? Well, we don't know, and this is the reason why we take profits, right? Because this could be on the longer term time frame, or it could be in a shorter term time frame, and no one really knows. But you do go through all those phases even on a short term time frame. So with that being said, as I always mention, this is all about psychology. So, you know, mental health is really important. Take a break, touch some grass. If you take a couple L's in trading, go ahead and go out for a walk. You know, maybe play some video games, go golfing, do something that you enjoy, and keep your mind out of the markets. Because if you continue to go ahead and enter these markets while you're getting wrecked, you're going to continue to get wrecked, because your psychology, it's really fucked. And you want to go ahead and identify those patterns, understand them, and then move forward. And that's how you're going to be able to minimize a lot of your losses when it comes to any of these trades and identifying cycles, right? Because you're here to make money. You're not here to go ahead and be an emotional freaking trader like 99% of the traders are. And this is the reason why a lot of people lose money, right? Because of the fact that we're very emotional, especially us as humans. And I think this is the reason why AI is one of those things that could identify and do, you know, better tests than humans, because they don't use emotions when it comes into it. And, you know, TA is one of those where, you know, us humans do tend to use a lot of emotion, and this is the reason why we get wrecked during market cycles like this. So just definitely go ahead and keep that in the back of your head. Very similar pattern to a lot of these projects. Even Pepe 2.0, Pepe is doing the same freaking breakout. I mean, you really can't make none of this shit up. So definitely go ahead and comment down below on any other project you want me to go ahead and talk about besides the ones that we have right here. I'm going to go ahead and do some quick TA on Wojak. As I told you, Pepe is doing the same breakout as Pepe 2, so I'm not really going to go ahead and look into that right now. Let's go ahead and look at Wojak though. Let's see what that's doing, and then I'm going to go ahead and read some comments just in case I missed anything. Charlie says it's just money. It comes and goes as it pleases. 100%. And we're going to go ahead and look into your project right now, right, Charlie? I apologize that. So we're going to go ahead and look into Mind Lab right now that Charlie suggested, and then we're going to go ahead and look at Wojak, all right? I haven't forgotten. Let's go ahead and see what else we see. Billy, how's it going, bro? Welcome. BTC just hit $35,000. That's freaking insane, man. That's freaking insane. And it's pretty crazy how we were just talking about these areas in the market, right? So I think as soon as we start approaching $38,000, this thing is going to hit 40,000 and above. It's not going to last forever, chat. Our goal is to go ahead and make this money and move out, right? Once we start hearing the big influencers talk about, you know, this whole freaking market being crazy, that's when we begin to sell, right? But yeah, looking really good. Let's go ahead and read some comments. Glenn, how's it going, Glenn? I hope you're having a great day today. Do you think Bitcoin is about to touch previous high? Yes, 100%. Looks like it wants to test it. What do you think about Starlink? It's Starlink. We're going to go ahead and look into Starlink right now a little bit. I think Bitcoin is going to go ahead and hit $40,000, and I do think that we could go ahead and approach literally, you know, $60,000. Oh, my freaking neck, dude. I'm not sure if any of you guys heard of that. My neck just cracked like crazy. Bitcoin hit 35,732 on MEXC. Yeah, this shouldn't be none of a surprise to a lot of you, chat. You know how bullish I've been with Bitcoin. I think Bitcoin is going to be making some new all-time highs, and people are going to go through these depressions of the charts as we've been talking about. I did mention we were going to be getting some sort of breakout. I even mentioned this right here. Look at that. You can't make any of this shit up, right? One thing that I always mention, and I've learned from one of my managers when I used to work at this one company, he mentioned when it comes to trading, you want to go ahead and be doing what the opposite of the retail investors are doing, right? Meaning if overall sentiment of the market is bearish, it's your turn to be bullish. when everybody's bullish in a market, that is a time to go ahead and be bearish. And this is one of the perfect scenarios that everybody's freaking bearish and has been fucking bearish since the beginning over here. I don't know why, who in the right mind would be bearish since these zones right here. None of these upswings that we've seen have surprised me. I'm not in shocked. We've been talking about this for months, literally about some sort of rally happening. You can go back to all the videos. I called out, I don't want to say I called out the exact black swan event, but I mentioned how, you know, we were going to have some sort of black swan event. This is very, very predictable if you go back to data, right? This is not rocket science. All it takes is literally a few brain cells and putting 1 and 1 together, which then equals 2, right? Bitcoin is probably more than likely going to go ahead and break out to the $40,000, and I do think that once we go ahead and see Bitcoin hit those zones of $40,000, I wouldn't be surprised if we do go ahead and break above that and potentially even hit, you know, anywhere between the $60,000 or even around the $56,000 Bitcoin, and still not be fully on a bull market, right? So these kind of uptrends are what we were expecting. Can Bitcoin go ahead and dump down even further? Yeah, I think Bitcoin could go ahead and fall as low as 3,400, and its next area of support would be around the $30,000 to $29,000 area. But I think right now, you know, in my opinion, Bitcoin's giving us all the indicators to the reason why we should be bullish. And now that we just saw this breakout right here, even though it's a weak breakout, a lot of freaking shorts are going to get wrecked. This is the reason why you don't trade with your ego, right? I wouldn't be surprised if we see a breakout to above $35,000, approaching $38,000, because bears are freaking doubling down on the short, because Bitcoin has to go down to $12,000. Like, no one ever fucking said that, but people truly do believe that themselves, and this is the reason why they get wrecked during these markets. Like, who in the right mind would short a zone right here? I understand it has been an area of resistance, but dude, you just don't do that, right? And this is the reason why we see massive wicks, because of the fact that people are doubling down on their wrong ideas instead of being, you know what, maybe I fucked up, maybe even though this should be down, it's going up, let me go ahead and pivot from my position. Honestly, Bitcoin really has no position, in my opinion, to be rallying up, besides the fact that we've broken, you know, multiple supports and resistance, and now we're getting squeezes from shorts. It's really the only reason why we're going up. But realistically, in my opinion, Bitcoin has no really other reason to go up besides the DXY going down. You can't make none of this shit up. So we're going to go ahead and do a little bit more deeper TA on Bitcoin. But let's go ahead and look into MineLab right now. Just Big Billy just says, I bought a pretty nice Mara contract. Nice, man. Those things are going to print. Congratulations on those. Let's go ahead and look at MineLab right now. I apologize for going on that quick rant on TA and the market psychology and all that. But if you're watching this pre-recorded or even streamed, and you forgot to smash that like button, go ahead and do that. It does help support the channel, as I always mention. With MineLab, you mine famous crypto coins easily. The world's first AI-backed mining company. I don't know how I feel about these like mining companies. So I'm gonna be that kind of person that I'm just like, dude, I don't believe in cloud mining. I'm not sure this is actually a thing. I'm sure it is, but I don't know how these work, man. You could earn all the way up to 3% daily. Interesting. I don't know. I don't know, man. Honestly, just to me, this mine. I just don't believe in it. I'm just gonna keep it very simple. MineLab, I just don't believe in it. I could be wrong. Maybe it is the best, hot thing. Maybe it does go up and it does crazy numbers. I mean, we do see that it's gone up by a lot, over 500% all-time high. So it might be worth taking a look at. But it says it's main to WADs pay token Terply. Oh no, this is the tokens that I have saved. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know anything about these kind of projects, so I'm just not really going to comment too much. This is MineLab. Join us to explore boundless opportunities for exclusives fueled by advanced AI tech. MineLab Limited invites you to venture into cryptocurrency cloud mining with potential daily gains of 3%. Is it just a token? Is a gateway to financial growth and community? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about MineLab. I'll save it, but as I mentioned, I just really don't understand it. I'll just say that. What do you think about Starlink? Starlink, a crypto project too? It's a metaverse project. You know how I feel about metaverse projects. I've mentioned how I feel like metaverse projects are just, they're not necessary in our space. Like, you don't need no freaking blockchain gaming and crypto, in my opinion. I feel like it's something that's unnecessary that we don't need in the space, and it's just solely hype. So I don't know. To me, it's like hit or miss, but it does look like it's gonna go ahead and have a breakout to the upside potentially. So I mean, it's not looking too bad. 446 million market cap with 5.39 of liquidity, 35,000 holders, 1 million in volume. So it's actually looking pretty good. Who knows what's going on? Might be worth trading this. So definitely going to have to go ahead and keep my eyes out on this and identify any patterns that we could go ahead and look out to for any breakouts. But if you go ahead and zoom out with the one daily, you could go ahead and see how it hit freaking all-time highs of something so freaking ridiculous. Let's see if it even measures it, man. This is insane. Over 24%, which is, I think, a little bit over 240x of your investment. So that is freaking insane. I don't know. I just don't like anything with the metaverse, to be honest. I feel like it's just overly hyped, and it's very difficult to understand how many people are actually going to be online playing the game and actually, you know, utilizing it. So, like, I don't know. It's a lot of those factors in for me, at least. Let's see if they have it on MEXC. I think they do. I think it's this one right here. So you can actually go ahead and trade this on MEXC. As always, go ahead and support the channel by using my MEXC link down below. $20,000 in sign-up bonuses, no KYC, and literally takes less than 3 seconds to create an account. It does look like some sort of breakout possibly happening, maybe some sort of head and shoulders or cup and handle patterns on the 1 minute chart. And yeah, I guess we're just gonna throw in a little small position in right now. We're gonna go ahead and throw in $100 into Starlink. Hopefully we hit it good. And I just added my link to Starlink. There you go. Just added live, about $96. And hopefully we can go ahead and get a quick little, you know, swing trade on Starlink. I don't know where it's gonna be at. I don't know where it's gonna head out to, but it looks like it's probably gonna have another breakout. Hey Moon Joker, how's it going? Hey Saeed, how's it going, man? Long time no see. Crypto King on YouTube does say that 2025 could be a cent or a penny. I mean, it could, man, it could, but like I said, like for me personally, I'm just not here to hold any tokens for that long. I'm not going to go ahead and hold a meme token until 2025. That is just me personally. As I mentioned, my goal is not to become a millionaire overnight. My goal is to go ahead and do that, you know, gradually, and gradually would just be to trading and swing trading, right? If you could go ahead and flip your money to $10,000, now you have $100,000, and flipping from $100,000 is a lot easier to get to that 1 million, as opposed to, you know, bag holding a meme token for, you know, years and hoping and crossing your fingers that it does do numbers, because an influencer, you know, said that. If the influencer's right, then I guess he's gonna be right. But for me personally, I just wouldn't do that, and I don't want to do that. And you know, it could, you know, Colt could also do numbers as well. I don't know. That's kind of the crazy thing about it too. But let's go ahead and continue to look at Bitcoin on the daily. Let's see if we see any kind of momentum. I mean, it's looking pretty bullish, man. It's looking freaking bullish, and I've been saying this about Bitcoin since forever. I've mentioned that there is a massive, you know, cup and handle pattern with the breakout, so none of this shit should surprise any of you approaching, you know, $40,000 Bitcoin. It's something that shouldn't, you know, surprise any of you. And also with the fact that the DXY looks like it looks like it's taking some sort of a dump. I do think that if the DXY does dump down below, we are going to go ahead and see Bitcoin approaches new or higher highs, which is above the $40,000 area. So for us, I don't really trade Bitcoin, so I really don't care too much about it, but it is a good indicator to identify where the market's moving. And the DXY does help us a lot as well. But the thing that I'm excited for are all these meme tokens, right? All these meme tokens rallying up to go ahead and continue to pump. So we do need to go ahead and see Bitcoin do its thing in order for people to feel a little bit more bullish into these a little bit more bearish or a little bit higher risk projects, right? We're already about $1 on Starlink right now. Let's go ahead and see if we can capitalize on that freaking pump, man. It looks like a lot of our projects are pumping right now. Pepe is pumping. We have Pepe 2.0 possibly on our breakout right now. It looks like it's at 35. We're currently up in profits about $1,100 so far. We started off the stream with about $600 profit. So it just tells you like the beauty of leverage trading, what kind of numbers you could go ahead and do. I have certain zones that I have in mind for these positions. Besides Starlink, I don't know what the fuck Starlink's going. I just open up a position just cuz. But Wojak and Pepe 2 and Pepe, I believe these are positions that I can make a couple grand. So hopefully about 2 to 3 grand each on this position, on these positions. And depending on where I feel comfortable taking profits, I'll go ahead and show you that. But currently right now, portfolio so far at $4,200, you know. So that's pretty good. We started this account with about $150. Leverage trading it. We did use 20x leverage in the beginning to go ahead and get those quick gains, high risk, high reward. And now I'm just trying to go ahead and minimize my risk with a decent reward, right? $1,000 is not life-changing money, right? $1,200 is not life-changing money. For a day, it's a pretty good, pretty good play, but it's not life-changing money to the point where, you're going to be able to do all these kind of things unless you're able to replicate $1,200 days, which is a pretty good amount of money. That's about almost 14 grand a week, which now that to me, 14 grand a week is pretty, life-changing money to me. I mean, that's about a little bit over 30 grand a month. Consistently, give or take, just off trading, it's pretty good, right? But I know that the numbers we're doing right now with trades is not something that's going to be consistent with. It's only temporary. We're going to be making this money temporary, so we might have some nice days where we make $2,000, $4,000 a day, $10,000, $20,000 a day. I mean, the account right now is at $1,400 literally as we're speaking. So, but this is not something that's going to be typical every freaking day for the rest of the whole entire market, right? For me personally, I like only trading these tokens a lot when there's volatility. And that's currently where we're at right now. It looks like Pepe 2.0 is getting ready for that breakout for our price target. So we're going to go ahead and switch over to Pepe 2 right now and see where things are going. Let's see. Let's go ahead and switch over to Pepe 2. This is really exciting. I like seeing these kind of breakouts with all of you because you get to go ahead and identify these breakouts together. And we get a better understanding of where the market's really heading. It looks like right now it's at 37, and it's going to go ahead and approach and break that. Hopefully we can go ahead and break this live right here at the 45. I think that's going to be insane if we could go ahead and see this pump all the way to the 45 zone. So be on the lookout for that. We are having a dump. It might go ahead and dump down to 35.46, or maybe dump below 36.40. So just be on the lookout for that. It's on the 15-minute chart. See the 5-minute. Dude, we broke through freaking resistance. You can't make any of this shit up, man. You really can't. You really can't make any of this up. And this is the reason why I'm telling you the beauty of meme tokens that already have data. They're a lot more predictable to go ahead and hit. It doesn't mean we can't go ahead and see a retrace right here, but realistically we could even see this just break up to the 45. I mean, we just made new all-time highs live. So that's a really good sign, it's following what we expected. We talked about a possibility of a cup and handle pattern forming. We called it literally right here. You saw me go live. I think I even added to my position live. I don't remember, but I said how we were looking for a breakout, and this was probably going to be our last support before we have the massive pump to the upside. So you can't make none of this shit up. It's very simple. You don't have to do no crazy TA. It wasn't nothing crazy. We didn't identify the fucking stars with the moon and Saturn, and we talked about how it's gonna hit the 60% angle is gonna hit 40. We don't do any of that shit, right? It's really simple. Don't overcomplicate any of this shit. We're at 38. We're probably gonna hit 40, and hopefully my target area, as I mentioned, is 45, and then we could go ahead and start talking about these zones. But this breakout was so predictable. It was there, and I'm not a rocket scientist to identify this. So if I could go ahead and identify these patterns, all of you could as well. It's not freaking hard. All it takes is just understanding of looking at the charts daily. Is the reason why I suggest all of you that do tune into these live streams, if you could also go ahead and watch them visually, it does help, especially if we're doing technical analysis on these charts, because the more you look at them, the easier it is for you to identify these patterns and be able to enter these positions at certain trades. Because even on the 15-minute chart, if you zoom out, you could also go ahead and see this cup and handle pattern forming right here. So it was a confirmation. You had a mini other cup and handle pattern right here. So it's a confirmation to go ahead and see these massive breakouts, as long as you start to identify these patterns early on. And as I always mention, these patterns are not 100% confirmed anyways to begin with. It's just guides to go ahead and help us make our prediction a little bit better. So yeah, it's looking pretty good. Pretty good on Pepe 2. So retrace to 3100, Matt Ambler says. Yeah, we definitely are going to go ahead and have to see some sort of retracement. I mean, we're about $1,600 in profit right now with Pepe 2. Hopefully we could go ahead and hit a little bit over 5 grand right now live. If we can hit over 5 grand live, like, I want to go ahead and hit 6 grand ideally. We're at 4,900. We are going to go ahead and see this retrace, but who knows where this retracement is going to be. So yeah, man, this thing's freaking crazy as heck. You know, it'd be pretty cool. We could go ahead and hit like about 6 grand right now. I mean, this trade right here is literally a freaking new phone for me, dude. So I'm pretty excited for this. Obviously, I don't think I'm going to buy the new phone yet, because the phone I want's about $1,800. You know, can you believe fucking phones are this expensive nowadays? $1,800, almost 2 grand for a freaking phone. You can't make any of this shit up. I mean, look at this wick. It looked like the wick did touch 40. So we're probably going to go ahead and see a retrace down to the 34 short term, and possibly even 31, as Matt says. Jonathan says, LOL, do you see what happened with SafeMoon founders got arrested? I didn't know that, man. Let's go ahead and look into the SafeMoon founders. Hey, what's up, Black Ranger? How's it going, bro? Let's go ahead and read this shit, man. You should be doing that with the freaking team from Saferium, bro. They literally freaking made a day to go ahead and scam us, bro. You can't make any of this shit up. Of course they want to make us pay for this shit. U.S. government arrests founders of SafeMoon Crypto. The U.S. government has formally arrested the founders of SafeMoon Crypto token, John Carnile, Kyle Nagdi, and the Thomas Smith. Moreover, the Department of Justice company executes following the U.S. securities, according to the official release from the U.S. Attorney's Office, Eastern District, and New York. The executives have been charged with multi-million-dollar international fraud scheme. Indeed, were the founders CEO and Chief Technology Officer, respectively. Earlier today, the SEC announced charges against the executive team behind SafeMoon. These charges were connected to defrauding of investors, misappropriation of funds. The founders of the tokens are set to apprehend by authorities. The U.S. government has officially arrested the founders of SafeMoon Crypto token, according to the U.S. Attorney Office. And be expecting this moving forward a lot more. You know, you're going to go ahead and start seeing more arrests. You're probably going to go ahead and start seeing more influencers get hit. And this is the reason why this space is being quite volatile, right? SEC charges SafeMoon and executives for $2 million in crypto fraud. That's freaking insane, dude. And you see where all of this happened back in 2021. So they were on the run for a while, from my understanding. But the price plunged nearly 50%. So its market cap reached 5.7 billion. Price plunged nearly 50% on April 20th when the investors learned that the volatile liquidity pool locking never occurred. In addition, the SEC alleges executives then manipulated the market to prop up prices, which is something that shit fucking happens all the time, even with stocks. The company founder, Kyle Nagy, assured pool funds were locked and untouchable. Additionally, the SEC claims large portions were never locked. Over 200 million was withdrawn by McLaren's, luxury homes, and more, according to SEC allegations. CEO John Kernay also allegedly traded SafeMoon to stimulate market activity, which is something that happens all the time. Nothing is exactly what's going on right now with Pepe 2 to begin with. Violating securities registrations, committing fraud by making the false claims to investors regarding liquidity, locking and misappropriating of funds, manipulating the market through wash trading and other tactics. So it's kind of funny that they're able to go ahead and do things like this when my understanding there's really no regulation yet. So I don't know how they're coming up with these lawsuits and how they're actually like doing, you know, how are they suing? But it's kind of the reason why a lot of these meme tokens, like, you don't have any actual developer be the face of the project, because now you have the problem of getting sued. And the SEC is someone you definitely do not want to go ahead and miss out with. But yeah, this is freaking crazy, man. I didn't get into the SafeMoon, unfortunately, but look at this pump, man. 39.74. Can we break 40? Shout out to Black Ranger. Jose Francisco, how's it going? Hey, yeah, I saw that new token too. Nice, man. What token are you talking about? Welcome, 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 Jose. Hope you're having a great day today, bro. But yeah, so far, see, the thing is that what I love about Pepe 2 is that its gains were so freaking, like, amazing, man. Like, the volatility with Pepe 2, like, it's just freaking amazing. I love the volatility. It's not the same thing as original Pepe, not the same thing as Wojak. It's not doing anything similar to this, right? So we're going to go ahead and see where this is at. Hopefully we could go ahead and break above 6 grand on our portfolio this by the end of this week. That'd be pretty cool. We could go ahead and break above 6 grand. It's pretty crazy. The only thing that worries me about pumps like this is where the top is, right? We don't know where the top is. So I think we're about to go ahead and try to retest the breakout one more time. And it might be it, man. Off to the races. We hit 40. That'd be pretty crazy. Let's go ahead and see that. I think it's going to pump. What do y'all think? $2,200 almost in profits for today so far. That's if I take the profits, right? Starlink's already in the negative for me, so we're gonna go ahead and see what Starlink's doing for us. Damn, dude, we're about to approach freaking 40 right now. Let's see. Can we approach 40? Either way, we've broken a lot of resistance. If we could break above 40, dude, this thing's gonna be berserking all the way to 45 potentially, I believe. If we could break that, that'd be really good, because it is a weak high. It is a very strong area of resistance, and the sooner we could break through that right now, dude, the easier it's going to be for us to approach the 4571 and the 5355. Yeah, maybe the dump from SafeMoon today went to Pepe 2.0. Is that what happened with SafeMoon? There was a dump that happened today? I didn't know that. Let's see if we can go ahead and see a breakout. Come on. Look, the reason why this shit excites me is it's not really just so much about the money, right? Because we're going to make a boatload of freaking money. It's not just that. What excites me the most is that we're going to be able to live stream multiple projects doing this kind of shit, dude. Like, that's what I'm excited for. Like, once we get this really some sort of meme coin season, altcoin season, it's announced through projects doing what Pepe 2.0 is doing, bro, the more we're going to go ahead and be able to stream projects like this and be able to actually jump in the action as they're, you know, having these massive breakouts to the upside. Yeah, 50 after the news. That's crazy. I didn't know that. It would have been a good time to short SafeMoon, right? Hey, chat, we're hitting it. We're hitting it. Let's fucking go. Come on. Let's go. We got this. Come on. Let's get this. Come on, we got this. Ooh, come on. Let's go ahead and see this breakout. Dwayne, do you think we could see Pepe 2.0 hit 0001? 100%, yeah. We could go ahead and lose a 0. It's very possible. It's not impossible. It's really, really achievable and really realistic. Losing a 0 on Pepe 2 is really realistic. No hopium, none of that shit. You know, it's really realistic to go ahead and break above those areas. Let's go ahead and see how this thing's doing, dude. I wish we could go ahead and get a full-on breakout above this. I mean, we saw the breakout live, which is good to go ahead and see, right? When we see breakouts like this, let's see what time it is. 2:28. Why is Pepe 2.0 pumping? Well, Pepe 2.0 is pumping because it's being artificially pumped, shorts, and then you also have traders jumping into this. So that's really the 3 reasons why it's pumping. There's really no reason to go ahead and pump. It's just pumping because it has been breaking multiple areas of resistance. So you have a lot of traders entering this, new holders entering this, and then you have, you know, obviously Pepe 2.0 being artificially pumped. This momentum that we saw with Pepe 2.0 has been fake all around from the beginning. As I mentioned, they made the price action look more or appear more. Dude, we're breaking through the freaking zones right now. If we could go ahead and continue with this momentum, we're going to be in the 5355 in no time. And I think I might take a little bit of profits if we approach the 5355. It's going to be a good, pretty area to go ahead and keep your eyes out on, dude. This is freaking insane. Let's see where we're at right now. $2,200 so far. We're about to approach 6 grand. You know, I told you. Let's see if we can approach 6 grand live right now. That'd be pretty freaking cool. And we're almost there. We're at 56 right now. 5.5. 5.5 obviously total position, right? 20 almost $2,200 in profits right now, but mostly that's all coming from Pepe 2, man. Pepe 2 is doing some really nice numbers. If we can hit 6 grand, that'd be really cool. Hit that 6 grand live, right? Obviously it's not actual profits until you actually take profits, but that'd be pretty nice to go ahead and have our portfolio at 6 grand. I want to be getting me a phone as soon as we approach over 6 grand. I'm looking at this new phone called the One Plus. I think it's called the One Plus Note. I think it's called the One Plus Fold. I've been looking at this thing lately right here. I'm trying to get me this phone right here. I was looking at the Samsung one. I have a One Plus right now, dude, honestly, but I don't know. I might either get this one or I might get the Samsung. But apparently the OnePlus is better. The only difference is that they don't have a stylus with this, so I don't know if it's stylus friendly or whatnot. But yeah, dude, this phone's probably I want to get this phone as a trading phone. Like, I would be able to do everything on this, man. Like, I wouldn't even need my computer if I could get myself one of these phones. It'd probably be like the best phones to go ahead and trade on. But yeah, this thing's alone's like around $1,700, which is freaking expensive, bro. Like, since when are phones over $1,000? I know they've been over $1,000 for a while, but honestly, OnePlus Fold, this being at $1,700, is probably the cheapest fold out there right now. The Samsung Galaxy is about 2 grand, dude. Can't make any of this shit up. So hopefully with some profits that I make, if I could go ahead and break my account over 6 grand, I'm gonna go ahead and treat myself with the phone, because I definitely do need a. Well, I don't actually. Yeah, I kind of do need one. I need a new phone so I could go ahead and start doing my trades on my phone, dude. Whenever I'm out and about, I could just go ahead and flip my phone, place a trade, read some charts, and then just do all that shit instead of having to come freaking to my computer all the time and analyze the monitors, you know. Jonathan says, do you think Pepe community will follow Pepe 2.0? I'm not too sure about that, man. That's a great question. I know a lot of you have been telling me about Pepe community. I haven't really seen what Pepe community is currently doing right now at the moment. I'm sure a lot of these Pepe inspired coins will go ahead and do the same. And this is kind of the reason why I'm trading a lot of these very similar ones, right? Because they are following the same pattern. But let's go ahead and analyze Pepe 2 real quick, or Pepe community. I mean, Pepe or community looks like it has some sort of cup and handle pattern too. So if it doesn't break to the upside right here, to the 5.6. We can't break above this, then it's not going to be a cup and handle pattern, but we could potentially see a cup and handle pattern forming too as well on the daily. So it's looking pretty juicy. We're going to go ahead and analyze this for a while, but it potentially could, man. That's kind of the cool thing about a lot of these tokens, is they do follow each other. I've seen the OnePlus open. It looks so good. You don't see the crease at all. That's crazy. I heard about that. Right now, I'm debating between the Samsung or the Note, man. And that's kind of the reason why I'm very excited, and I just want to make some money on Pepe and all these projects, because I want to go ahead and treat myself, man. I want to go ahead and get me a phone, just to go ahead and make trading a little bit easier, right? It's going to be easier to go ahead and multitask and do whatever I have to go ahead and do. So ideally, that's kind of the reason why, like, if the sooner I could go ahead and approach, hitting 6,000 and above, I want to ideally have my account at $8,000 before I go ahead and grab me a phone. Just because, like, dude, 1,600 to $2,000, that's a good grip of money, man. That's a good grip of money you could be using to trade. So but yeah, I'm going to go ahead and wait for my account to hit probably $8,000 and probably go ahead and cash out on the phone, dude. Gandalf, how's it going? I missed my Nokia 3210. What is that? Three, 2, 10. You can't make this shit up, bro. Really? That's funny. It's from 1998. These were probably like the shit back in the day, huh? That's crazy. Yeah, like all the games and shit, dude. That's crazy. It's crazy how technology has evolved to the point where we have foldable phones that are freaking tablets, bro. Like, you can't make none of that shit up. Cryptic sniper. Dude, I was just like, as soon as I looked into this shit, I was like, dude, this is probably gonna be like a badass freaking phone that I never heard of. And then I look at it and I'm just like, fuck. Fuck. That's hilarious, man. You can't make any of that shit up. Yeah, man, but I think this trade's gonna work out pretty good. I'm not stressing too much. Hopefully, Pepe 2 does find a support in order for me to buy a quick little dip on this. But yeah, man, it's looking actually pretty crazy. Yep, it's a classic and I'm old. Hey, people like different things, you know what I mean? I like the new technology. I like the evolving technology. I got more into the point too where, like, I want to make my life more efficient, and I feel like technology has done that to a lot of us. And like, why have to go ahead and be in your computer stuck all day reading charts when you could literally be out in dinner, being at a friend's house, or visiting some family? You're just flipping your freaking phone into a tablet. Now you're trading and doing the same exact technical analysis, opening trades, exiting trades. Like why go ahead and overcomplicate yourself, right? So that's why for me, I like the technology that we're evolving to. It makes your life a lot easier in certain aspects, especially if you're a person that might be utilizing certain tools to go ahead and make your workload a lot easier. But this seems more like a work phone, and that's kind of the reason why I want to get it. I do think productivity will go ahead and kick in from what I think. You know what I mean? I won't have to always be on my computer 24/7, always have to be at home because I have to have my laptop near me. And I feel like this is something that I won't really even need my laptop around me, because I'll be able to do a lot of this shit on my phone. And obviously, I still will need a laptop, but it's going to be really minimized to what I actually need to go ahead and use it for. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm probably gonna go ahead and debate on thinking of grabbing this one or the Samsung, but we're not gonna go ahead and do that until we could go ahead and approach at least. I want to see my account a little bit above $8,000, because let's say $2,000 for a phone. Let's say we're at $5,000 right now. That puts us back to like $3,000, which I'm not down to go ahead and be at right now. So hopefully we can go ahead and get this at $8,000, and we get that to $8,000. I'll go ahead and buy the phone with the profits. Cryptic Sniper says I had one back in the day. I had a basic game called Snake. I've heard of that game, dude. Snake. Remember that one game where what is it called? Tetris. I think it's called Tetris, the one where you have the different colors. That was pretty cool. But yeah, look, I mean, look at Pepe 2's volatility, man. Like, if I had all the money that I have into like Wojak and Pepe original into Pepe 2, like my 2 grand right now would have been like freaking like $6,000 to $12,000 probably, like no cap. So like if I don't see these performing like these like Pepe 2 on the next breakout, like if when these tokens get the next breakout, like Wojak and Pepe don't get this, when they get the breakout and they're not doing the same freaking gains as Pepe 2, then I'm just gonna go ahead and have to go ahead and probably, you know, take profits on these positions right here and add more to my Pepe 2 back. Because if I had a little bit more money into that, I could have been having, could have, would have, should have, right? We don't like to go ahead and talk about that, but we could have been roughly at around, you know, 12 grand, 6 grand profits right now. Which would then mean I would get the phone that I want, right? But we're playing the safer route of being a little bit more patient. So we're gonna go ahead and see where things go moving forward. Yeah, but freaking excited. Let me know what all of you think today. By the way, are you guys all having a great day? Gandalf says, best thing is there wasn't any pause button either. That's crazy, man. I think my generation is like the last generation that probably like doesn't even know what any of that is, right? It's probably the last of the generation to even understand what any of those kind of phones are. I remember back when I was in like middle school, I had like the little track phones. We had those. I remember when the LG chocolate phones were a thing back in the day as well. And then you also had the sidekicks. Remember those phones, the sidekicks? Do any of you remember that? Those were like the shit back in the day. Those were like an iPhone back in the day. Like back in the MySpace days, these phones were the shit, dude. Like you were cool if you had one of these phones. Like you can't make any of this shit up. And then that was crazy. This is where like phones started really evolving a lot, man. And these were the shit back in the day, the sidekicks. These are low-key kind of cool. Like if they were to go ahead and redo like a sidekick like this, like I would buy it, bro, to be honest. Like these are pretty slick, cool looking phones. Like I would rather have some sort of keyboard that slides up in order for me to text than use my touchscreen. I don't know if any of you feel the same way, but I think these are pretty cool. Like if they could bring these back to live, like these are phones that I would buy, dude. Like I think these phones would be like pretty cool phones to go ahead and have. But that's crazy, man. I remember when the sidekicks were a thing. But yeah, a lot of good things are going on in the market, as I mentioned. Just to go ahead and all we have to do is just be patient when it comes to this market, and then we can go ahead and really, you know, move forward when it comes to a lot of this. But reach out to me, ALTCOIN John. If you have messaged me, I'll definitely go ahead and get back to you. I know some of you have messaged me. I think Suave might have messaged me. Haven't had the time to go ahead and message you back, but feel free to go ahead and reach out to me on what is it called? On damn, dude, you can't make this shit up. I remember seeing this guy enter this position yesterday, man. This is crazy, bro. Like this is the kind of shit you don't want to go ahead and do. Like look at this guy. I remember this guy. I don't know. Maybe he jumps out of it good, dude. I think he was shorting the market. I don't know who in the right mind would short this market now. I'm not sure if the market dumped or it pumped. I don't know what the case was, but I'm not even really talk too much about this trade because I don't know what he was doing. It looks like he was probably shorting the SPY, I think. But look at this, man. I saw him yesterday enter at around like $70,000 or 80 something thousand dollars into his position. And look at what he bought in with the expiration of 11/17. Literally the contract expiring in 17 days, right? If he does hit it big, this is going to be over $100,000 play. But, you know, this guy's already 46% down, man, which is over 60 grand. Like, this is like, in my opinion, some pure DJing gambling shit, bro. Like, I don't know who in the right mind would do that. I've done shit like that in the past, but this is the kind of shit you don't want to go ahead and be doing, you know. But options is a whole different ball game too. You have more shit that goes into it, but dude, that's fucking crazy. 50% dump at 80,000. Imagine stomaching 80,000 dump like that. That's freaking crazy. Jonathan says Monkey George is a bit pumping. I still like the very low market cap. We're gonna go ahead and take a look at that. The phones were so shit, people would actually sit down at dinner and not take photos at their food, and they would actually speak and laugh with one another. 100%, man. I think what I've noticed, and I think I have an upper hand when it comes to like my generation of people, is that most people don't know how to have any social interactions anymore, you know. And that all came off because of social media, you know. People are scared to go ahead and get rejected. They're scared to go ahead and ask a girl out. They're scared to go ahead and like do anything nowadays in person, and they would rather do it all through like mobile or social media. People are more destined to go ahead and talk shit to people on social media than in real life. Like, dude, you just can't make any of this shit up. Like, it's actually quite funny. And it's actually quite sad too how this generation has lost any social skills. But for the people that are killing it, dude, I think it's like a gem, bro. And for me personally, I think that's kind of like my what is it called? I don't want to say my opportunity, but I would say I think that's kind of like my good pinpoint for me personally, is that because I am a pretty social person, and I've been in sales, and I understand, you know, people. I understand how people are. And I enjoy talking to people. That's why I could sit here for hours talking to a freaking sitting here talking for hours in the stream talking to all of you, right? But yeah, dude, you can't even go out nowadays without seeing someone take a picture of their food every second, videotaping what they're doing every day of the day, to people that don't give a fuck. You know, it's actually quite crazy. You go to most places now, you see most people on their phones 24/7. Really not enjoying life, right? That for me personally, I like to go ahead and take my days where like I do the technology kind of stuff. But obviously when I'm trading, I'm the same person, man. I'm like literally just looking at my phone. That's why I'm looking to go ahead and get a tablet phone to go ahead and be more digged into my phone, right? But yeah, man, I think technology is good or bad, right? Depending on the way that you're using it, you could go ahead and use it for the good. You could go ahead and use it for the bad. But most people that are using social media and technology, they're not using it to improve the world. They're not using it to improve themselves. Most people are using it just for entertainment. And dude, we're freaking breaking through these freaking areas, man. Fuck. Congratulations. Let's go. I need to buy more, Saeed says. Dude, me too, bro. Fuck, I could have been up like 12 grand right now in my position. He's just totally, bro. Social media is anti-social media. 100%, man. I hate when I go out to places and I want to go ahead and like spark a conversation with like a female or something. That came out the wrong way, but hey, you know what I mean. Like when I'm over here trying to, you know, spark a conversation with someone, whether it's a female, whether it's you know, anybody, just to go ahead and ask a question at the store. It's like, dude, most people are like fucking scared, bro. It's like I'm the type of person that I'm walking and I see a girl, I'm like, hey, hi, and they're like so shocked, like they don't know how to react. They're like, because like people, they're not used to getting that kind of like attention in person, you know. Most people are not used to getting that kind of conversation in person, that people freak out, bro. It's like ever since this whole entire pandemic thing happened, people freak out over you. It's like imagine how I am. I'm like this on stream. Imagine putting me in the middle of nowhere with a whole bunch of randoms. Trust me, I'll make a whole bunch of friends at the end of the day. Like, and I'll have a fucking blast by myself, because I enjoy, you know, meeting people, you know, getting to know people, getting to talk to others. I enjoy that, but most people, they can't do that shit, bro. And I think that's what's kind of fucked about this generation that we're in, you know, everything with social media nowadays. You can't make any of this shit up, man. $3,400 in profit, man. This is fucking insane, man. This is insane. We just hit 6,500 freaking live, dude. Fuck. Oh, this is crazy. We're hitting our price target. If we could hit 8 grand on live right now, that'd be freaking insane, man. Glenn says Pepe 2 is still going. Congrats on that trade. Appreciate it, man. I might not even take profits though, to be honest. I might just go ahead and wait on to this and hold and see where it goes. But it's probably going to retrace. I probably should take profits, man. But I don't know. You know how I told you this was going to be a very important zone for us? Breaking through the 4-5, it's like a very critical area. Once we approach the 50, dude, this thing's going to blast off. And if we do approach those levels, I think I will be able to clear about 6 grand. So that'd be about a $12,000 position. Regardless of the case, I might just honestly hold on to my position. I don't know. And then probably, you know, wait for these other positions to do their thing, and then just rebuy and dollar cost average into these into Pepe 2. Because if I had a bigger bag right now, I'd probably be up a nice grip. I'd probably be up $12,000 right now. But it's okay, right? Profits are profits. You know, I'm not complaining. I'm not complaining. We haven't had good days like this in a while, so I should be more appreciated, right? So let's not let the greed take over. Got to be careful with those somethings after you've had a few beers at the club. Yeah, dude, that's why I said somethings. That's what I said, man. 100%. The somethings, man. You got to watch out for the somethings. People are so sensitive nowadays, too. You wouldn't be able to make jokes about that shit like that, man. It's funny, though. It's funny. Gandalf, that's freaking hilarious. Gotta be careful with those somethings after you had a few beers at the club. You can't make that freaking shit up, man. That's hilarious. I feel like this thing might dump. Dude, if this thing dumps, this thing's gonna dump freaking massively. That's why right now I'm like debating like whether I should go ahead and sell for profits or just still hold on to my position, dude. Because like, I mean, 3 grand's pretty good. It's not bad. But like, let's say if I buy my phone right now, it's about $1,800, 6 grand, 5.4. Yeah, no, I'll just wait. We need to hit the 8,000. I think once we hit 8,000, I'll go ahead and I think we have to go ahead and hit the 8 grand before we could go ahead and start buying the new phone, you know? I think that'd be pretty cool. I want to go ahead and get this out. I want to get that for my... Dude, I didn't buy anything for my birthday now that I realize. My birthday passed a couple months ago and I didn't buy anything for myself. I didn't do really anything for myself. So I have to treat myself with something soon. People get offended easily, offend me. Yeah, 100%, man. People are just so sensitive nowadays. They can't even take a joke. That's kind of the problem with our society, right? It's like people just can't handle the truth, unfortunately, and the truth fucking hurts, bro. I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry to fucking tell you that the truth fucking hurts, and it's reality of the world, and people have to go ahead and get used to other people having opinions, right? We're about to hit $7,000 right now. If we hit $8,000, dude, I might just go ahead and take half of my profits. What would that be? $8,000. If I hit $8,000 profit, what would that be at? You remember how I told you the 50 zone, once we broke 45 to 50 zone, that was going to be the area where like we would have a massive pump to the upside. So, dude, we're going to see how it acts right now. If we see this thing blast to 50, we might just have this shit blast off to 75. And that might be our next zone, dude. Look at all this freaking volume, 104 million. Freaking, this is insane, dude. This is some crazy volatility we're getting in. About almost 4 grand profit live. Almost 4 grand, dude. 4 grand profit. And I might just actually take like 80% of my profits because this thing could realistically moon. You know how I told you anywhere between 45 to 50 is going to be the zone that a lot of whales are going to start looking at. They're either going to go ahead and buy it at that area, or they're going to go ahead and try to keep it at the area of support in order for that next leg up, right? So that's pretty crazy, man. That's pretty crazy. Let's see if we can get this. Come on, come on, come on. This is pretty insane, man. It's pretty cool how we get to go ahead and see these live, right? we get to go ahead and see these freaking live insane trades live, but it's not always a case, because the good thing about this is that as you can see it freaking pump, you can also see this shit fucking crash live, and it seems like people like seeing that too. Hey, we've gotten rug pulled a few times, you know. I think it's our turn now to finally take a couple W's. So I do want to go ahead and say congratulations to all those that jumped into that Pepe 2.0 trade. Congrats, congrats, congrats. Let's see. Can we and will we break above it? I think it might dump. Leave some to ride the wave. It's always good to take profit. Yeah, 100%, man. I agree with you. I agree with you. I'm going to go ahead and take some profits like right now. Probably going to take about like 1 grand of profit. Let's go ahead and look at the charts real quick. The problem with pumps like this, man, they fucking dump crazy. I mean, look at it dump right now. Ooh, are we going to be able to go to the next breakout to the upside? This thing's fucking crazy, dude. Yeah, you see that dumping now? 46.99. I'm gonna go ahead and take profits at 4478. No, actually, that's a little too low. My bad. What am I gonna do? Okay, yeah, we're gonna do this. We're gonna have another breakout to the upside. I took a little bit over $1,200 profit. So we secured a bag. We have a little bit over 2 grand now available in margin. So looking pretty juicy. I don't know how much I took, but I took a good amount on my position, and still about 2 grand in profit right there. So looking really good. Frick, dude. We're at 6 grand right now. Let's see. Where's our profit? Profit. Close long. Look at that. $823. And then we took another $400. So 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So it took about roughly $1,200 in profit. I do want to go ahead and say, chat, this is not something that's going to happen and going to be very common every day. So I do want to go ahead and say that, you know, what the kind of money that we're making and the way we flipped it from $150 to 7 grand in, let's say, roughly, what, 2 to 3 weeks. It's not something, it's not abnormal, but it's also not something that's very common, especially if there isn't enough volatility, right? And riding the wave early on. So this, the only reason why we've been able to make these kind of gains, and as I mentioned, I understand that this is not going to happen forever, but I am taking advantage of that volatility. Do just go ahead and keep in mind that it doesn't happen every freaking day. It could happen every day, but with this kind of like momentum, how you're having to just shoot up like crazy, it doesn't happen every day. So I do want to go ahead and mention that yes, we've closed about a little bit over $1,200 in profit with a small account, but like, dude, not that many people make that kind of money. Realistically, not the Bitcoin traders that are trading with a small account, they're not making the kind of gains that we're seeing right now. But as I'm saying, the only reason why we're doing this is because we caught on to the wave early on. So just understand that obviously none of this is like constant. It doesn't happen constant. As you're seeing all these other, you know, Wojak, Pepe, you're seeing it at $52 profit, $100, so roughly about $150 for the day. That's not bad. Even $150 a day, swing trading, day trading is not that bad. It could replace your job, right? But like for me personally, I wouldn't freaking replace my full job, you know, with the gains that I made now, because it's not something that you could constantly do with the cycles unless you have a big account, right? I think after you approach like right now, the fact that it accounts like $6,000, you know, $6,000, $8,000 and above, it gets really easy just to go ahead and place a swing trade and make and scalp, you know, anywhere between $200 to $300 a day. And I think that's pretty decent. You know what I mean? That's almost a pretty full-time career if you're just looking to enter and trade a position. But yeah, $1,200 profit today. I took a little bit over $800 yesterday. Look, I'm gonna show you my win so far. So $1,200 today. You guys saw that live. Then I also have, let's see what else. And I took another position right here. What was it? Yesterday. I took this other position yesterday right here. I took a long on Bonk. I did about 100%, which was $418. Yesterday I did about $418, but I also took a $100 loss yesterday. So you can say $300 yesterday and then $1,200 today. But even if you go back to some of my wins, you see, you know, I had about $170 right here, another $100 right here, so about $200. Around this day. So far we've been capturing a few little plays back and forth, and obviously I've been losing money too, you know. We're not always in green, you know. We take losses too, but you see some of my losses are not as big as my my winners, because I would rather be wrong and like risk a little amount than like be right and risk a huge amount. This is the only reason why most of my losses so far, knock on wood, haven't been big. They haven't been bigger than $100 losses, right? You see $718 profit, $7 loss, $27 loss, $17 profit, $111 loss, $50 loss, 30. Obviously these add up, so they totaled a little bit over $200 loss right here. But I try to keep them under no more than $100, like $100 loss right here. And you see some of these trades right here. Even if you go all the way back over here, you see this trade was I closed this position right here with about $1,900 position right there. So when we hit it, when we close a position, we hit them pretty big, dude. But as I mentioned, it's not something that's always going to happen, and it's going to be constant, right? This is the reason why you want to go ahead and take advantage of volatility. But right now, my estimated liquidation price is at 25, dude. Like I'm chilling. I'm chilling like a chinchilla. Currently right now, $2,000 in profits. This thing might go ahead and drop down to possibly even $1,000 or $500. But what I'll go ahead and do is I'll just go ahead and add to my position, because then I won't have to worry too much about liquidity. I won't have to worry too much about getting liquidated. So still my average pricing is at 31. So even if this thing dumps, I'm okay with it, because I just took about $1,200 profit. Now I have about $2,284 to go ahead and throw more money into the market. And now that I've gotten this confirmation of how we talked about the 0.45 area and hopefully the 0.50, now I'm going to feel a little bit more comfortable going into my Pepe 2 position even deeper. Like I wouldn't mind throwing an additional, you know, $2,800 into Pepe 2 right now, knowing the potential that we have to go ahead, knowing the capability of the potential that we now have, right? I might probably even raise my leverage, man. I might do 10x next time. You know, after we dump and we find this retracement, I might go ahead and do a 10x or maybe 20x, and now start to throw in my money a little bit more, because now I'm feeling a little bit more comfortable in this market with the zones that we have broken into, right? So we're gonna go ahead and look for an area of support. As soon as we find the area of support, I'll let all of you know what our position looks like. But I wouldn't be surprised if we see, you just saw it from $2,000, you're probably going to see it fall down to $500 or $800 in profit. And it's actually pretty good too, right? Because you get to go ahead and see this live. You get to go ahead and see how, yeah, you can make a lot of money quickly if you time it right, but you could also lose a lot of fucking money quickly. So I think it's a really good learning experience for all of you to go ahead and see all of this really happen live. Gandalf says, leave some to ride the wave. 100% greed is our worst enemy. I agree. I prefer to cry with 2K in my pocket than cry minus 2K in my bank account. I agree with you. Yeah. Nobody ever got broke, you know, taking profits. I do agree with you. Glenn says Starro is starting. Yeah, dude. Starro is starting, and right now we're up about 41 cents in profit. So we're in profit. So that's pretty good, right? That's pretty good. But I do want to go ahead and say to all of those, you know, and as I always mention right now that I've been repeating this, for all those, you know, tuning in live, watching the fucking gains that we've been making, the ones that I just showed you, it's possible as long as you have proper risk management and you understand what we talk about with these charts. But I also want to go ahead and tell you just straight up that this is not something that you can replicate all the time unless you have a perfect system with a perfect volatility, which, you know, it just so happens that Pepe 2.0 is like printing literally fucking free money, bro. There's the reason why I've been so bullish on Pepe 2, because I understood that it was going to do exactly what we're witnessing this right now. This was not luck. This was not me listening to a fucking influencer. This was believing in myself, believing in what we understood, and looking at the charts. Can it go south? Yeah, even if it dumps all the way down, dude, I still made a couple grand. So either way, it's not about being right. You know what I mean? It's all about acknowledging where you were wrong and then moving forward. I took profits. I think it's okay. We're going to go ahead and re-enter our position. But don't think that this is something too common that happens every day where you have crazy amount of volatility just spike up. Like I like trading meme tokens like that, or any project that has that kind of volatility, dude. I fucking love it, man. It gets me excited. But honestly, I got to a point where like, either I haven't really realized it, or I've ever since I changed my mindset into trading, I'm not really looking at the money. It's kind of crazy. Obviously, I'm doing it for the money, but I'm not even really thinking about it. Either that, or probably hasn't hit me that I'm like, oh shit, dude, I have now 6 grand in my pocket. Yeah, that's fucking crazy. And I could close out with, you know, almost 3 grand profit today, right? It hasn't really hit me yet, I think. Or maybe I just really don't look at it that way anymore as I used to back in the day. Back in the day, I'd be like, oh shit, look how much money I've made so far. This is freaking cool. And like right now, I'm like, it doesn't surprise me. I was expecting this shit to happen. You know what I mean? It doesn't surprise me, the fact of the gains that we're doing, because I knew this thing was going to happen. It was just a matter of when. But yeah, it looks like Starlink is about to go ahead and pump. Hopefully we can go ahead and have a little pump. But look at this. This shit's crazy, bro. Go ahead and support the channel by using my MEXC link down below. $20,000 in sign-up bonuses, no KYC, and literally takes less than 3 seconds to create an account. I think when we started this stream, we were at around $800 profit for Pepe 2. All-time high was roughly around 3K because we took 1,200. So that's pretty cool. The fact that you guys saw that kind of volatility live, talk about this breakout, I think that's probably one of the coolest things we could go ahead and do while we're talking about a breakout, because it could have also gone the opposite way, right? Because even though you see the amount at like 2-3 grand profits, it could have also gone the other way, where it would have been 3 grand negative, you know what I mean? And like you would have seen the different side of how it is, like with that kind of approach. So I think it's cool to go ahead and see this to go ahead and see all of this live. But let's go ahead and see where Starlink is at. It looks like it's currently looking for an area of support on Pepe 2. I wouldn't enter in right now. Can it still go ahead and continue to go up? 100%. Yeah, we don't fucking know how high this thing could go. But what I could go ahead and celebrate is the fact that we are in our zone that we wanted to. Now all we have to go ahead and do is just hold above this, hopefully, and just continue to go up. So congratulations to all those, you know, jumping in. I'm one step closer to getting my $1+. I told you I need to go ahead and make about $1,800, which we closed almost today. But you know, I don't want to go ahead and close my position, because then my account size is going to go ahead and be lower, and it's going to be a lot harder to, and it's not going to be a lot harder, it's just going to be a lot more difficult to make money, in my opinion. So like with this right here, my portfolio is looking perfect. $2,800 on the side. That's not even including the Pepe long that I'm in right now and the Wojak play. If these two plays work out and we could get another 1 or 2 grand out of these projects, dude, I would be able to add more to my Pepe 2 position, and it's gonna look freaking juicy, and then we'll be able to buy the $1+, because that's something I definitely do want to go ahead and get myself, because I didn't buy anything for my birthday. So might as well treat myself on this phone. But yeah, this looks pretty cool. I think this is going to be a pretty cool trading phone. So this is the goal. This is the goal. Once we hit $8,000 plus in our trading account, we'll go ahead and buy a $1+. So hopefully this happens soon. Hopefully we can go ahead and get our account above $8,000, so we could go ahead and buy us that phone. But as I mentioned, yeah, we'll go ahead and see where things go, man. I'm really excited. Hey Saeed, I'm the same, bro. I'm so freaking like, I'm so triggered to go ahead and get all the 2 grand and throw it all in on Pepe 2 right now and put like freaking 20x leverage, but I'm really holding myself back to not go ahead and do that. So I totally feel you with how you feel right now. And I'm also not trying to think, because I sold out of my position. I put a stop loss on Sunday. You know, I told you I was going to put a stop loss, and I ended up putting a stop loss on my position. As soon as I got stopped out, Pepe 2.0 ended up pumping. And with the bag that I had a little bit over 600 or 860 something million tokens. So my position right now, if I would have held on to my bag and never sold, I just like kind of panicked and I was under stress. I just didn't want to deal with that anymore. My position would have been over $12,000 right now. So I'm also thinking in my head right now, is like, dude, don't think about the would have, could have, should have, because at least he took $1,200 profits. Could have been worse. But also, if I had my other bag literally a few days ago, last week, if I had the same bag of Pepe 2, I would have had over literally $12,000 in profit right now. Over probably $16,000. It was a $16,000 position, dude. $16,000 position, and all I had to do was hit 4.5, and I would have been, or 4.3, and I would have had over $12,000 in profits. But it's okay. I'm not gonna go ahead and overthink it. We have to go ahead and be appreciative with what we did today. It was a good amount, but yeah, it kind of sucks. So I'm feeling you the same way right now. I'm so tempted to go ahead and close out all my positions, collect another additional $1,000, and go all in on Pepe 2 with $3,000. And that'd be totally my position at over $4,000. So dude, that's what I want to do deep inside. But I'm going to go ahead and hold myself from doing that. But even if I do go ahead and close my wallet right now, if you see that wallet balance, this is $4,000. And then we have a available margin at $2,000. So realistically, my actual wallet, before taking, you know, unrealized profits, you're talking about only my wallet only being about $4,000. So it's not too impressive when you actually think about it that way. Yeah, dude, I want to go ahead and buy the OnePlus. That's something I want to go ahead and buy, just to go ahead and make work more efficient. Like I'll be able to trade with this, man. This will be pretty cool. Like, you'll be able to trade with this. It's actually cheaper than the Samsung. This one's starting off with 1,600, and I also do have already a OnePlus myself. This honestly, it kind of sucks. It was really good in the beginning. It's been bad ever since, and that's kind of the reason why I was staying away from the OnePlus. But looking at the specs that it has, dude, like this has really good specs for the price. Like it's about $1,600, and it has the performance is freaking insane, dude. A 4K video. What else? I like the fold, how it looks. And what else? Let's see. I think it's like 16 gigabytes or something like that. Apparently this is like the best fold phone in the market right now, and it's actually the most affordable one too. It has 16 gigs of RAM, dude. 16 gigs of RAM. Like that's freaking insane. That's like a freaking computer. You know, and it starts off with a storage of 512, and for the Samsung Galaxy to go ahead and get 512 storage, it's about $2,000, and it has only about 8 gigs of RAM. So, dude, this is freaking insane. This is like literally a freaking mini computer on your hands, bro. This is kind of the reason why I'm like, I need this, because this is gonna make my workflow a lot more efficient. Yeah, I have the OnePlus 5 GT right now, dude. I liked it when it first came out. I'm not really feeling it too much now. I feel like the phone's gotten worse, to be honest. And I've just had so many freaking issues. But I would say it is a pretty good phone. But I do want to. I don't want to get the OnePlus Fold, but because it's cheaper by only a couple $100, like $300 to $400. And it has better specs. That's kind of the only reason why I'm considering it. It's cheaper, it has better specs, and honestly it looks better than the Galaxy in my opinion, or the Samsung. It's kind of the only reason why I'm looking to go ahead and hold that. But go ahead and smash that like button for me, chat. For all those that are right now tuning in, about 18 of you are live. Go ahead and make sure that this live stream has over 18 likes. I really would appreciate that by a lot. And it looks like the position is currently going up higher and higher and higher, you know? So that's pretty crazy. Change wife This guy says change wife. You can't make this shit up. He said I had a OnePlus, but wife convinced me to switch the iPhone. He said change wife, not financial advice. You can't make that shit up, dude. You can't make that shit up. Nice. He says wife is S tier. Don't even need wife changing money. Let's fucking go. Thanks for the advice though. Oh, you guys are funny, man. Yeah, but dude, it's looking freaking bullish on Pepe 2. Let's see if we could go ahead and do an entry, because I want to freaking get into Pepe 2.0 again right now, dude. Like freaking right now, this second. I want to go ahead and re-enter my position. Dude, we actually kind of broke a little bit over highs, dude. We're at 47, so we're close to approaching the fives. JK, bro. That's funny, man. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and see where things go. I'm gonna go ahead and hold on to my trade overnight. I mean, it is what it is. Worst comes to worst, we go ahead and dump all the way down to 35, 30 something. Well, my liquidation's not till 25. Yeah, 25. My average entry's at 31. So like honestly, I'm chilling like a chinchilla, bro. I'm chilling like a freaking chinchilla. So if this thing drops, I'd be freaking happy, because now I would be able to go ahead and go up even higher on leverage, and I will also go ahead and be able to add more to my position. So either way, I'm happy with the outcome. If this thing moons, let's go ahead and see what would happen to our portfolio if this thing moons. Okay, if this thing hits 50, we're gonna be at almost $2,900 in profit. If this thing hits 55, we're gonna be at $3,700 in profit. If this thing hits 65, we're gonna be at 5.3 in profit. If this thing hits 85, we're gonna go ahead and be about 8 grand in profit. So yeah, in order for us to go ahead and hit 954, we're gonna have to go ahead and be really fucking deep in profits. in order to go ahead and hit $10,000, and that'd be about a $17,000 position in total. So I don't know, man. I might have to go ahead and sell my whole entire position. Hey Ryan, how's it going, bro? Welcome. Shout out to MLC and congrats to MLC, by the way. I've been seeing that. Last bull run, I sold my wife, my house, my dog to buy Luna. Boy, do I miss that dog. Oh my god, bro, you can't make none of that shit up. Let's go ahead and see where MLC's at. I know MLC has been pumping like freaking crazy, dude. It's kind of crazy though. We took a massive fucking L on Ethereum, and look at the gains we're getting paid for right now. Like some really nice gains because we took that L on that one other token. You know, that's just the point. That's just the way life is. You win some, you lose some. Shout out to Ryan with the team at MLC. 35,000 market cap is going up. These are the kind of projects that are worth risking, in my opinion, throwing money into, because there's a higher upside than a downside, right? And it looks like it's almost about to go ahead and break out to the upside with only 156 holders. So definitely something to go ahead and keep your eyes out on this. This thing might be pumping soon as well. But you almost made me FOMO into Pepe 2 when it was at the 4s, but I was reserved since it already pumped. Of course, this time I have conviction it would have paid off. Yeah, 100%, man. Are you in Pepe 2, by the way, or are you looking to go ahead and enter a position in Pepe 2? Because like right now, I want to FOMO so freaking bad. Like you don't understand how bad I want to FOMO into this. And I'm a little bit questioning my life a little bit too, because I could have been $12,000 in profit right now, bro. Like I'm not even making this shit up. Like if I would have held on to my position and I would have not been a chicken shit, I would have been 12 grand in profits. But I also have to go ahead and keep in mind, I put a stop loss. I ended up taking $200 profit, so I ended up not really losing any money. But I also could have had 12 grand right now if I would have not been a chicken shit and would have diamond handed. But see that at least I could go ahead and give props to myself for not losing all my money, because the old me, I would have fucking lost everything, to be honest. So I kind of salute myself, give props to myself for at least not losing all my money, at least coming out with profits. Could have, would have, should have. We always talk about this. And this is kind of like where like my FOMO is kind of slowly kicking in. I'm like, fuck, dude, I want to go all in right now. Like I want to throw in a $2,000 in Pepe 2 right now and see a pump, but that's not good, man. That's not healthy. I mean, even though the position's going up, that's not the smartest thing to go ahead and do. Ascend, Ryan, how's it going? Big O neck. I know nothing about trading, but my brother linked me to your channel, and I like what you're doing here. Excited to learn more about Pepe to the moon. Welcome, 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 bro. Appreciate you for coming in. Shout out to your brother for being a real one, for showing you the channel. Really do appreciate it. Glenn says, I wanted to FOMO in, but I'm not trying to get wrecked at this point. I'm the same, dude. I'm like debating. I'm like, should I go ahead and cash out my left remaining $2,600? Because usually every time we have a massive pump like this on Pepe 2, it always fucking dumps like 30 to 40%. So realistically, I could come out of profits, take $2,500 remaining. I already took about the $1,000, $1,200 earlier. Take about, roughly, if you really think about it, that's almost about 3.5 grand in profits for the day. Call it a day, wait for it to retrace, and then re-enter again. But also, this thing could just fucking moon straight up to above 50, and we might never see these areas ever again. So that's the reason why I was like kind of tripping about, you know how I mentioned the 0.5 area, that once we touch and enter the zone of 4.6, that zone was going to be a very important zone, because that's the area where a lot of FOMO will begin to kick in. And we're feeling the FOMO. like you can't make any of this shit up. Like, we're feeling it ourselves, and we haven't even approached freaking 20 million market cap. And I'm telling you, once we approach 20 million market cap, dude, this thing's gonna freaking moon. But also, if you see it, once we hit this area of resistance, you see how we kind of went as high as 5.9 and then dumped? I don't know, we might have another thing where we dump from 59 all the way down about like 30% or 50%, and then we have another massive leg up to the upside. So hopefully we can go ahead and capture that, and that's kind of the reason why I'm being slowly kind of patient, because if we do go ahead and approach those levels, it might be worth closing the position out and taking full on profits and just waiting for this shit to dump, because we are also at a very critical area. Like, if we don't hold this support pretty well, we are going to go ahead and dump below 46, and we're kind of seeing a struggle right now on the 5-minute chart. So if even on the 15-minute chart, we do see that its all-time high was at 48. So we might even go ahead and see this dump, but who knows? We might have idiot bears doubling down on their position, trying to short this down all the way down to 3.9, and this thing might just go ahead and break above it and hit 5.3. And if we could go ahead and hit 5.3 right now, that's going to be freaking crazy. You could also expect a pump during Asian market, which is around 4. So realistically, we could actually go ahead and see this pump even more. So I might just go ahead and hold on to my trade, wait for it, and then once we go ahead and approach that area of around when Asian market goes live, it might be something to go ahead and jump into for sure. Re-enter again our positions with a higher position and higher leverage. Now that we have been convinced that, you know, we found an area of support, and if we do find this area of support right here, it would be pretty nice, obviously at a higher price, but even if we find this area of support and we consolidate, it would be a good entry right here, because then we're going to go ahead and retest the 5.3, and then possibly the next zone would be the 6 and the 7. So even from there, if you go ahead and measure the bottom to the top on this, is only about a 30 to 40% pump, which is not freaking crazy, Chad. It's nothing abnormal, right? This is normal in this space, 200%, 300%. But, you know, 40 to 50% pumps with leverage is freaking insane, I'll tell you that. But anyways, yeah, I've been almost 2 hours into this stream. I'm going to go ahead and take a break right now, kind of analyze what's going on, take a little breather. Got to go touch a little bit of grass. I really do appreciate all of you tuning in today. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, if you are brand new to the channel, we will be looking for entries to go ahead and re-enter this market. We did really great today, over $1,200 in profit, and all of our positions are currently in the green. So really excited with what this market has to go ahead and bring us. And as always, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you for tuning in. Support the channel by using my MEXC link down below. $20,000 in sign-up bonuses. No KYC, and literally takes less than 3 seconds to create an account. And I'll go ahead and catch all of you on to the next.